Testimony from defense witness Robert Costello.
The trial will resume with Costello back on the stand on Tuesday, and the defense says it will be Tuesday, perhaps, that it rests its case. They don't plan any more witnesses beyond Costello, but of course there's always the possibility Donald Trump could choose to take the stand in his own defense.
Correspondent Michael Sisak in New York. April, a banner fundraising month for the Trump campaign. It took in more than $76 million, Biden camp collecting $51 million. Israel's prime minister is condemning it as a disgrace and anti-Semitic.
The top prosecutor at the International Criminal Court accused Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, and 3 Hamas leaders of war crimes and crimes against humanity in the Gaza Strip. Both France and Belgium have supported the arrest warrant request. However, President Joe Biden condemned the decision.
Contrary to allegations against Israel made by the International Court of Justice, what's happening is not genocide.
Biden's comments came on the same day Israel said it would expand operations in the southern Gaza city of Rafah. I'm Karen Shamas.
More aid on the way for illegal aliens in Denver.
The plan is a major shift from the days to weeks-long shelter stays Denver, Chicago, and New York City have been offering migrants over the past year. Denver's new procedure includes 6 months of rental and food assistance for an apartment, work and certification trainings, free computers and phones, and help with asylum applications. The program will begin with up to 800 participants.
That's correspondent Ron DeRockstra. Heads up today, possible severe weather across parts of Iowa and Missouri. Watching Wall Street ahead of this morning's opening bell, Dow futures 15 points higher. NASDAQ futures are down 37 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-504-8790. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-504-8790. You'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now. 800-504-8790.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
In Iran, funerals for the government officials who died in a helicopter crash are underway.
Iran's farewell to its president and 7 others who died in Sunday's crash will unfold over a few days and in cities across the country. Iranian officials say there have been requests from so many people in so many provinces who want to participate in the funeral procession. Tomorrow, Iran's supreme leader, 85-year-old Ayatollah Khamenei, will preside over the ceremony in the capital, Tehran. This week of mourning will be the first test for Iran's conservative leaders who want to send a clear and convincing signal of continuity.
The BBC's Lise Doucette. A London judge says Prince Harry cannot expand his privacy lawsuit against the Sun tabloid's publisher to include allegations that executives are part of an effort to conceal and destroy evidence of unlawful information gathering. Townhall.com. The UN Security Council rejects a Russia-backed resolution calling for a prohibition on space-based weapons.
Rejection comes as the U.S. says Russia launched a satellite last week that could be weaponized. The U.S. and its allies said the resolution's language that the 15-member council debated was simply meant to distract the world from Russia's true intention, weaponizing space. Russia's UN ambassador denied that his nation was trying to mislead the world. The resolution failed on an even split between backers of the U.S. and of Russia, with Switzerland abstaining. I'm Norman Hall.
Former Arizona Republican Party Chair Kelly Ward and at least 11 other people scheduled to be arraigned in a Phoenix courtroom on felony charges, accused of working to overturn the results of the 2020 election in Arizona. Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani is also scheduled to be arraigned, although it's unclear whether he will seek a postponement. More on these stories at townhall.com.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday
Grab a frosty mug and try the newest flavor from Bluebell, A&W Root Beer Float Ice Cream. A creamy vanilla-flavored ice cream swirled together with an A&W Root Beer flavored sherbet. A new way to enjoy your favorite root beer float.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at Smokey's Country Market in Capitan and all Farmers Country Markets.
Have you been following the campaign for Senate District 32? I'm still undecided.
I voted for Candy Azell before, but after 20 years, she's been in office too long. She claims she's tough on the border, but voted to give free health care to illegals. And Azell even voted to raise her own taxpayer-funded pension 3 times.
Candy Azell?
That's right, Candy Azell. She also voted to implement critical race theory in New Mexico.
Critical race theory?
The bill forces school personnel to take annual anti-racism training and rips away local control of schools and hands it to bureaucrats in Santa Fe. Worse, Azell voted to raise taxes by millions on health care for seniors.
Ouch. Who's Candy's opponent?
Chad Hamill. He's a local business owner and former fire chief in Roswell who is running to secure our border, fix our schools, and keep taxes low.
Chad Hamill. He's got my vote.
Paid for by friends of Chad Hamill.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy. It's not Monday. Tuesday, everybody.
Yes.
Happy Tuesday.
You are correct, sir.
The final Tuesday of the school year.
Yes.
For students here in Roswell, graduation week. Which, by the way, we will be carrying the graduations on our video stream.
Yep.
KSVPTV.com.
The high school graduation.
Yeah, high school graduation. Yes, high school graduation.
Sorry, I got graduation on my mind too,
Yes.
but mine is one's in elementary school and one's pre-K, so it's a little different.
Yes, but we will be carrying the graduations Friday and Saturday for Goddard and Roswell and University High and all those on KSVPTV.com. Video streaming of all those there. So tell your out-of-town friends and family they can't come to the graduations. They come to them. So we'll have them for you this weekend.
Seems like only yesterday you started.
Yeah.
4 years. Congratulations. 12 years, actually. Let's really hammer it home.
True.
12 years
Unless you're Doogie and skip the few.
Standardized tests and...
Or Sheldon.
Or Sheldon, yeah. Awkward hallway conversations and weird crushes and probably getting your head stuffed into a turlet or two. Maybe that's just my experience. I don't know.
Yeah.
You really don't hear about people getting swirly anymore. It doesn't really come up. And it's kind of a hard thing to pull off if you think about it.
Right.
You have to pick a human being up, turn them upside down, and dunk their head.
Yeah. Yeah. And it usually requires two people to do it.
It feels like one of those things that Hollywood thought bullies would do or should do.
In all fairness, too, to get that many people in that small a space is a little,
Yeah, swirlies can only really be achieved in a handicapped stall. You're not cramming 3 football players into a regular turlet stall.
Maybe you die the way of the dodo. I don't know. I'm going to hopefully assume it's gone the way of the dodo. And
maybe. I'm curious to know, because I've never known anybody who's had their head dunked into a toilet, nor have I. I'm sure you haven't, nor have you known anybody who has.
I'm trying to think if I've known anybody, and I don't think so, but I'm not 100%.
I would love to just do a random sample, just hit the streets of Roswell and just ask 100 people, do you or have you ever known anyone to have had their head dunked into a toilet by a bully?
Now, I've never had the head dunk, but have you had a wedgie been wedgied so hard that your underpants were separated from your body?
I've had one so hard that the elastic waistband separated from the underpants. Yes.
Yeah, I've had that, and then they kept going, and the rest went too.
And that's the other thing that, again, Hollywood says is a possibility. The atomic wedgie.
Yeah.
It is humanly impossible for one to pull my underpants up over my head.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I have a lot of torso here.
Yeah.
I'm torso heavy. So,
but yeah, it blew away, and then they kept ripping, and it finally just broke away. But yeah, that was last week. No, I'm kidding. That was
all these these Hollywood bully tropes that I always saw growing up. It's like that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Does it? Maybe like at a really young, like maybe elementary or middle school age, but I don't know.
Kids being hung up on a tree or something and left there. Yeah, I never got it.
Kids are too busy vaping in bathroom stalls these days, anyways.
That's right.
Can't be dunking heads.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to the last week of. Really, official summer starts and all that. Throw that out the window because that's like in a month or whenever it is, June something. But for everyone, it starts when this week's over and the kids are out of school. So, Memorial Day weekend, of course, and all that. So happy last week of before you get into summer mode here.
I honestly don't forget the last day of school run where all the kids run out at the same time, like running of the bulls.
That's right.
Ours was a little different. So, and I'm
papers flying.
Let me preface this by saying I would ask that the class of 2024 go out with more dignity and respect than the class of 2002 did, okay?
What did y'all do?
Here's the thing. We had to empty our lockers before we were allowed to leave. Most of our lockers were full of a year's worth of nonsense papers and handouts and all
things
that.
you're supposed to take home, you never did. Yeah, I get you.
So what ended up happening was most people would open their lockers, rip everything out, and just throw it in the halls. And so everywhere, all along the halls, was just littered with just a year's worth of paper nonsense.
Yeah, I think that was done when I was in high school too. Now that I think about it,
it was literally every student in the senior class going, "What are they gonna do? Kick us all out?"
Although, if I remember right, I also had like 6 jackets in there. Maybe some food.
Yes, a couple of sandwiches. And that's the thing. Those got tossed too. You weren't, there's no prejudice here.
Yeah.
If it's in this locker, it's going to be on that floor.
But I'm like, that's where that jacket went. I hadn't seen that jacket since.
Sorry, Janitor O'Hurley.
Seen that jacket since November, man. But, yeah.
Yeah. So just a little more respect and dignity.
Yes.
Go out with a bang.
Yeah. Neatly. Well, it's all on computers now.
Yeah.
No paper.
It's been more than 20 years since I graduated high school, so I feel like the statute of limitations is up on that one. So
yeah,
I can confess to a lot of high school nonsense now.
Right. Yeah. Although mine is even longer, but I also went halfway across the country, so I got double immunity.
That's true.
So
they're gonna have to track you down.
That's right.
Somewhere there's just a whole team of people looking at a big board. We're gonna find him. Word is he shaved his head.
That's right.
Hey, Baldy.
Changed his name.
So we're just going to hold up a reflecting mirror over the country and just see if we can find a sheen.
We've pinpointed him to pretty much the entire country.
We found 15 diamond fields and possibly Mike Winters.
But let me give you the rundown.
We're slammed today.
We do have a bevy of things going on today. We're going to replay an interview this hour. Elliot Rodriguez with Loan Depot joined us on Friday to have a little monthly chat talking about Sage buying advice when it comes to buying your home, whether it's your first one or your 50th. But we'll replay that conversation with Elliot here in just a few. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to have, I believe first we'll have Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society join us. Tonight is your Dine to Donate night out at Texas Roadhouse. So if you go out there and print off the flyer, you can eat delicious steak or barbecue or chicken or burgers or whatever your proclivity is over at
that sounds delightful.
Texas Roadhouse, and help the Historical Society. So I'm going to talk about that. Plus, they announced their scholarship winners yesterday. I saw online, so we'll announce that as well. Also, next hour, we'll have the folks from the Chaves County Extension Office join us, give us an update there. In the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we'll have the folks from, I believe, both of our American Legion posts, American Legion Post 61 and Post 28. I know Commander Stephen Lee will be here for Post 61. I believe Louis Mestis will be here from Post 28 as well with us. Talking about Memorial Day weekend coming up here. There's going to be ceremonies done by both of our American Legion posts this weekend. And I know our Post 61's having a cleanup out at Memory Lawn on Saturday. We'd love to invite the public out too. So we'll get those updates to everybody here in the 9 o'clock hour.
Indeed.
Of course, you heard maybe in the local news there, they got the
wildfires outside of Cloudcroft?
Yeah, and I guess there's some evacuations and there's some evacuation points in Mayhill and Cloudcroft there and all that. But for people up in that area that are impacted by that, it looks like and from what I was hearing on the news this morning, it sounds like they're going to be at least evacuated till about 8 o'clock tonight. They said at the earliest that they could go back.
Yeah, I saw Mayhill, that area.
Yeah. So if you do have dealings out in that way today, be aware that they do have a wildfire out there. Might impact comings and goings around that area there. So
very well could.
It is 7:16. Let us get you up to date. Actually, on the weather's kind of boring. It's just hot and 90s. That's kind of what we got. So here's your weather. It's just garden variety.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things stay sunny and hot for the next few days. We'll be hitting the mid-90s for the afternoon high today. It will be a little windy, especially around the Carlsbad area. Gusts around 25 to 30 miles an hour. Sunshine through the afternoon. Upper 50s and clear for the overnight hours. And then about 90 for the high on Wednesday and sunny. We'll stay sunny on Thursday and Friday, mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 70 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 22%. Winds at the moment out of the northwest at 7 miles per hour. Mid-90s, as Steve had mentioned today, 94 and sunny with winds. This morning out of the northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour, shifting to the southwest this afternoon. For tonight, clear skies, overnight low of 59. Winds will be out of the southwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. They'll drop down 5 to 10 out of the southwest after midnight tonight. Wednesday, sunny, 90 for a high, so just a smidge cooler. Winds out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Thursday, sunny and 96. Southwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Sunny and 95 for your Friday. And for your weekend here on Saturday, sunny and breezy, 96 for a high. For Sunday, sunny and 95. And for Memorial Day on Monday, sunny and 95 degrees. All right, it is 7:18. We're going to take about a 4.5 minute break, and then we're going to play our interview we had with Elliot Rodriguez from Lone Depot. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate in the race for State Senate District 27 with a strong conservative record on border security and stopping illegal immigration. Greg Nybert has voted against free college for illegals. He's voted against professional licensing for illegals. He has stood strong against Michelle Lujan Grisham, turning New Mexico into a sanctuary state for drugs, crime, and criminals. He has fought to end catch and release for violent criminals and will continue to do so. New Mexico is at the center of a border crisis because our laws make us a haven for illegal immigrants, drug trafficking, and cartel activity. MLG's liberal agenda has unleashed terrible harm on our state. That's why a vote for Greg Nybert is a vote to take back our border security. Greg will keep fighting against the march of the radical left that threatens to harm our way of life. Vote for Greg Nybert, a proving conservative voice for State Senate.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
This is Chaves County Sheriff Mike Harrington. Candy Ezell is running for the state senate, and I want to tell you why she's the best person for this job. Candy has been fighting for us. As a state representative, she's been an advocate for law enforcement and for the rule of law. She's been voting against Michelle Lujan Grisham's attacks on the Second Amendment for years. And whenever Candy stands up and says no, people pay attention. That's why we need her in the state senate. She's also been fighting for all the policies that have led us to the border crisis, including opposing catch and release of violent criminals, drivers, and professional licenses for illegals. A vote for Candy Ezell is a vote to restore law and order and to secure the border here in New Mexico. This is Chaves County Sheriff Mike Harrington asking you to vote for Candy Spence Ezell for State Senate District 32.
I'm Candy Spence Ezell asking for your vote in the upcoming Republican primary on June the 4th.
Paid for by Candy Spence Ezell for State Senate District 32.
The need to grow past our basic capabilities and experience the impossible will forever keep aviation technology evolving. Within the Aviation Maintenance Technology program at ENMU Roswell, students thrive knowing that the faculty and community are supporting their success. ENMU Roswell is dedicated to empowering students through hands-on skills training in a nurturing environment. To learn more, contact us today.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,324 head of cattle sold on Monday on an uneven market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker steers sold steady to 6 higher, heifer mates 8 to 10 lower. Feeder steers steady to 5 higher, heifers steady to 5 lower. Packer cows and bulls steady to $10 higher. 3 to 400 pound steers $382, $397. 3 to 400 pound heifers $315, $348. 4 to 500 pound steers $342, $382. 4 to 500 pound heifers $268 to $315. 5 to 600 pound steers $292, $342. 5 to 600 pound heifers $246, $268. 6 to 700 pound steers $245, $292. 6 to 700 pound heifers $223, $246. 7 to 800 pound steers $236, $245. 7 to 800 pound heifers $205, $223. Packer cows $130, $142. Canner and cutter cows $120, $127. Packer bulls $155 to $170. Feeder bulls $135, $140. Top half the cow calf pairs $1,800 to $2,400 per pair. Top half the bred cow $1,700 to $1,925 per head. Next week's sale will be held on Tuesday in observance of Memorial Day Monday. We will talk to you next Tuesday morning. We appreciate the business. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us. And good morning. It is 9:39, and joining us in studio a little late because of my. This is a good week.
No worries.
But Elliot Rodriguez at Lone. It's a long week. Elliot Rodriguez at Lone Depot with us this morning. How you doing, Elliot?
Good morning,
Elliot
Roswell.
Depot. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, Roswell. It's beautiful outside, dude.
It is nice. Nice day, 80s.
And it's not windy.
And to be honest, I was digging the rain yesterday. So
that felt good.
Yeah, it was nice little change of pace. So now it's going to be hotter than Hades this weekend, but we'll get to it. So, But now for folks not familiar, Elliot Rodriguez, not Elliot Depot, joins us each month. He is with Lone Depot, and when you are ready for your first home, next home, second home, 37th home, whatever it is, Elliot is the guy that helps you get the financing lined up before you go see the real estate agent to pick out your forever or next home here.
That's right.
That's what and what Elliot and so Elliot joins us each month. Really, just talk tips because let's face it, if you've never done it, it's an intimidating experience. It's new. You don't know. You have a lot of people telling you things. Some of the information's good. Some of it's maybe good 30 years ago. Some, you know what I mean. And so Elliot really, really loves to not only give you a loan, but give you the foundation to succeed and thrive and to take this home into your next home or to your forever home, whatever that is, you know, that's what you do. So you really love working with first-time buyers, people that maybe, don't have a lot of experience, or, and people that, let's say, maybe they didn't think they'd get a home. And at least sits down with them, says, look, okay, today, we got a few debt income issues here or whatever, but we can rectify that in the next couple months. Next thing you know, your credit score goes up. Next thing you know, I can get you qualified in a house here if you just follow these simple things over the next couple months here. Come back and see me, and guess what? We're putting you in your first.
Correct. I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
I cannot buy a house. They told me I cannot buy a house, and then they come and talk to me. I say, well, you haven't moved this, and that. Yes, you can buy a house. Yeah. So it's very scary.
Sure.
Because I feel bad for some people out there that their dream of buying a home is taken away from them because somebody didn't do the diligence to take care of them. And one of the things that I do is I look at every option.
Sure.
Okay. I uncover every stone, and there's always a way. I
give them
believe
a
that.
plan.
Yeah, because there's always something that you can do to push you in a better position.
Absolutely.
That way you could buy a home. And
this is the beauty of credit too. Yes, everything you do impacts it, but it also positively. So if you do good things with your credit and all that, the bad things go away, and next thing you know, your 500 turns into an 800.
Exactly.
It really can happen with a few simple habit changes or just refinancing something or paying off something or doing something little.
You and I spoke about that many times. About somebody maybe having too many vehicles and the payments were so crazy big and they didn't want to refinance it. And I say, you know what? You want to buy your house? Maybe you need to change that payment.
Yeah.
And that's all it took to make it happen.
Yeah.
And
you could afford that $800 truck payment at the time, but now that you've got a $1,200 mortgage you want to add on top of that gets a little. And lenders look at that and say, "Well, you're already paying $800 for that truck here. What are you doing?"
I had somebody say that I give hope like I give candy. Okay. And I love that, that comment, because let's be, in the end of the day, I'm not here to take away nobody's dream.
Sure. You want everyone in a home. You want the American dream for everybody.
I want everybody to have a home. I mean, I don't have any other agenda but to help you find a home.
Because that's your foundation. Because once you have your home and your place, that's your oyster to go over. You want to pursue whatever your dreams are, whatever, you've got the foundation to do that.
And if you are there thinking about buying a house and you have that issue, or you've been thinking about it, or you are afraid of it and you don't know, you're not going to lose anything by just trying.
Yeah.
Okay. And you just have to be guided the right way.
And we do live in a world that people, and I've seen it quite often. It's like the mortgage company won't won't approve me for a $1,200 a month mortgage, but the renter will approve me for an $1,800 a month lease.
I know, right? It's just like when people go and buy a car. Like if you have a job and it pulls, they'll give you a car.
Yeah, exactly.
I know mortgage is a little more complex. That's why I'm here for you.
Yeah, but that proves the numbers will work if you get your stuff in. Because if you're paying $1,800 a month for mortgage, odds are for a lease, odds are if you own the home, you're cutting out the middleman here, because you're paying that guy's mortgage on top of whatever they're doing to make their nut and everything else. So please, it can be done. And when you hit lenders that tell you no, this is why I say Elliot's the guy he may say we can't do it today, but do this, this, and this, and guess what? You're not paying someone else $1,800 a month. You can put you into your own mortgage,
and invest in yourself.
Yes, exactly. And this is why owning a home in America is still the best way to create financial stability for your family. It is the best way to do that.
Because no matter what, you're going to be paying rent somewhere.
Exactly. You've got to live somewhere.
That's just the reality.
Yes.
And a lot of people are too worried about what their interest rates are and this and that. We have even talked about this many times on here, and talking about this, because I had a 9.5 interest rate back in 2004. Okay.
And you're probably thinking, that's not too bad.
Back then. Folks, let me tell you something. I think we just got a little spoiled in the past 3 or 5 years before.
These 2% and 3% interest rates have made us a little spoiled.
We got a little spoiled. The fact of the matter that if we had the 8.5, 7.5, that is nothing.
Yeah.
That to be honest, and last month we spoke about that. If let's make an example, the $200,000 to $250,000 home at a 3, 4.5 or something like that, to a 6.5 or whatever, the payments are not that much of a crazy difference.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the part that a lot of people need to realize. And waiting for the market to get better, and that being your reason not to buy now, it's a mistake, because then the fact of the matter still stands. When the market gets better, the prices of the home will go what?
Sure.
Higher.
So does the demand.
Yes.
So does everything else. Yeah.
Because that's just the way it works.
Because people's waiting on the sidelines.
I
Guess
know.
what? The term is people, not you.
Exactly.
And so there's a bunch of people doing the same thing. And so guess what? They're going to gobble it up. So it turns into a rat race where you're really, and guess what? Bidding wars. And then when you thought you're going to get it better.
I got people right now losing houses because they didn't bid correctly. Folks, I mean, this is not my area. Okay, I'm not.
That's your real estate agent.
And the real estate agents make deal on that. But right now, if you really want a house, the idea is not to offer lower. Okay, it's a mistake. Okay,
because someone will outbid.
There's not
you
enough
quick.
houses. There's not enough houses. I mean,
you got to come in with a good bid. Or
I know it's just totally crazy that it's happening, but it's happening. You know, and you be like, but the interest rates are higher. It's like, no, people still need a home.
Yeah, but just remember, when these bids get crazy,
you have to be careful. Yes,
make sure it doesn't get too far away from the actual appraisal of said home.
Your agent will tell you they'll do a comps on that property, and they'll tell you, you know what, if we go $5,000 or $10,000 higher, the house should appraise.
Sure.
Your agent will know those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't go too crazy.
So don't go too crazy without their
know your limits on what the actual true value of this home is before you start calling numbers out.
Your agent will give you that advice. So follow your agent's advice.
They'll take it, but then when you got to get financed for it, there's no lending institution on the planet that's going to lend you money for something that's valued less than what you need it for. There's no way
that will be the one time I tell you no. I'm sorry. For sure.
Yeah, if you're wanting $50,000 for something that's only valued at $25,000, there's no lender on the land that's going to give you that.
No, but don't be afraid of what's happening in the market. Don't be afraid of all those things. If you are ready to buy a home, you just need to think about that part.
Yep.
Okay. Do you need a home? Do you want to buy a home?
Sure.
Okay. I would help you try to do the best scenario possible. And
it's getting in the game. That's just what
you'll
it
be
is.
part of. And guys, when the market gets better, you could just refinance it later and lower your interest, but at least you bought the house you wanted.
Sure. It's like a poker game. You can't win the poker game unless you're in the game. Sometimes you fold and you don't get into the pot. Sometimes you play. But that's buying a house. You get into the game. Okay, my interest rate's a little higher now, but guess what? Now it's refined. Now I get back in the game and I refi. Oh, it's going up. No big. But guess what? During this whole time, you're paying your mortgage, you're building equity, you're building your own money, your own stuff. So even if your interest rate's higher, that $1,200 or $1,500 mortgage, part of that that's not going to interest, going to principal. That's paying off your home, and then after a few years, you've got what's called equity, and that equity will allow you to buy bigger and better things than what you currently have, based on that equity that you've already paid on your home. And so if you're getting in later, even though your interest rate, you're still building equity, which means you're still building towards you. And then when, times get better, they drop interest rates down to 4 or 5%. All right, let's refinance the house.
There you go.
You go talk to Elliot and
I had a 9.5, like I said.
Yeah.
Okay. It took me twice to refinance it to bring it down to 5.9.
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys would think, like, why in the heck you did it twice? I was like, well, because I didn't think it was going to get any better, and I got it probably at around 6.5 or something like that. Because I don't remember what the middle one was, but I remember the last time I refinanced it.
Right.
And in the focus. And the funniest thing is this: I ended up moving over here. Just not even a whole year that I refinanced it. I ended up moving over here. But my point is, I put myself in a better position.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, so that's the part that you guys need to think about. Don't worry about what's happening. If you need to think about if you want to buy a home, if you are ready, if your family needs a place to live, let us help you, and we'll give you the best position as we can anyway.
Yeah, the determination of whether you need to buy a home or not should not be what the market's doing.
Yeah, what's happening. Yeah.
It should be where are you at in your life. Oh, I just got married. Oh, I just got kids. Oh, I just got a new job. I'm moving. I mean, your life dictating it determines when it's time to buy a home. And if you're getting to that point where you're on your own, you're settling down, and then you start meeting, life happens. You meet people, you create a family, and, and as those moments hit in life, it doesn't matter what the interest rates are.
Let me give you an example.
Do what you got to do.
My sister asked me a couple years ago, when the rates were better, when is the best time to buy a home? I say the best time, and we talked about this before.
Yeah.
And I brought this same conversation, to the conversation.
Yeah.
I tell her, when you're ready, that's the right time to buy a home.
Absolutely.
And guess what? She never did. And they raised her higher now. You think she's going to buy now?
Yeah.
She probably won't. But
Now, the games that you guys are talking about, that's the question you have when you already have your first home, and when's the time to buy the next home?
That's different.
That's when you start answering those, asking those
questions. Because now
you
got the time on the world to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
You're going to sell the one you have or rent it, whatever you're going to do with it.
Yeah.
See, now, like Mike says, you're part of the game.
Yes.
Okay? You could do whatever. You can make
now you
your
can
own
hold
calls.
out or pull the trigger
Yes,
whenever it works
whenever
best
you want
for you.
to.
You can start playing the interest rate game and all that stuff. And I recommend you do that too.
Let me give you an example. I'm helping somebody buy a house in our t-shirt right now.
Yeah.
And they didn't have their house ready to sell. They buy in a bigger and nicer home. Okay. Through the whole process, I actually got somebody to buy their house too. All right. So this is the funniest thing. Now, what they were putting on the other house that they were buying at Artesia, okay, they didn't worry. They just went for the house they wanted, okay, because they were able to.
Sure.
But now, because they're selling their other house, we're going to try to close that simultaneously. They got more money to put on the house that they wanted to buy, which they're buying.
Sure.
So now the whole entire scenario has changed, even for a better position for them.
Yeah.
Now, they were not thinking, I'm going to buy this house and I'm going to be able to sell my house at the same time or whatever.
It kind of worked out that way.
They got very lucky.
Little bit
it
of
happens,
luck there.
and it happens a lot, okay?
It does. Well, especially in a world right now where it is volatile and you're seeing houses come up on the market and go off as quick just because supply and demand and the
There's
way
not
it is
enough
right
houses,
now.
yes.
Yeah. And so it right now, that is more common than you think just because of the
what's
environment
happening.
of the world we're in.
And the funniest thing is this. I got them their deal over there at the less cost as possible because I knew they're going to sell the house and all the proceeds from that is going to be put into this house, and then they can refinance at a lower level.
Yeah, but these kind of things fall into your lap because you're in the game. You're
exactly because they're already playing.
Yes.
And the funniest thing is everything is falling into place so easily. And we were discussing last night, hey, your house came to price. That means you're going to get the money that you needed for it. So how much of that money? She said, all of it. I was like, okay, all right. And I say, okay, that means you could buy points. You could do whatever you want, put a big chunk on the down payment.
Sure.
And put yourself in a better position.
Absolutely. That's what this is the American
and
dream in
that's the way it
action.
happens.
Yeah.
And this is happening, folks, when the rates are higher already. So you see what I'm saying? It does not matter if you're ready or you're not ready.
Sure.
That is the part that truly matters.
And this is kind of gets to that point where we talk about on occasionally here, it's about your priorities and what you prioritize here. And okay, you want this house, but okay, what are you willing to change in your life to if your money is not matching up right now and what's going on with that, you put the house you got to prioritize the house then. If that's truly what you want, do you need to look at your expenses. Are you spending $200 a month on coffee or $200 of every 2 weeks on coffee? Maybe we should find a better way to do that. And next thing you know, it's the same thing here. Okay, you've got a $700 vehicle payment here. Do you need a $700 vehicle payment here, or can we figure out a way to get this down?
Exactly. I mean, and it happens.
Yeah.
And I deal with that all the time. You know.
But or you have zero credit whatsoever. You're in the world. All right. Let's do this. Let's get you some kind of establishment here,
And folks, there's so many programs going on right now, okay? There's no grants. So if everybody's looking for grants, there's no such a thing. And if anybody's telling you otherwise, they're giving you the wrong information. I'm sorry.
It's
okay?
outdated or not correct.
But there are a bunch of programs happening right now, okay? The state of New Mexico is giving for first-time home buyers that qualify $10,000.
And these aren't even like specialized, like your military or first responder or teacher
let me
or something
tell you something.
Yeah.
I have folks out there, all the first responders and all that. I got programs for you guys. But the fact of the matter is, there are other programs that even give you more. So even those programs don't even matter.
Gotcha. We got better ones.
So we got better ones. But that I have them is awesome, because
but it gives you variety.
Well, our company, because remember, some people don't qualify for those things, and they'll get the other stuff.
It's everybody's individual needs are different, and what might work for one person may not be the best solution for someone else. And that's also something you need to know too is, when you talk to your friends and Ellie did this for me and this and that, because that's what was best for them. In your situation, that may not be the best.
Yeah, everybody's different.
Yeah, so you got to understand that.
Folks, the state of New Mexico right now, okay, that's the New Mexico authorities, okay, that's MFA, they got programs for first-time buyers and even repeating buyers, okay? So no more is this first-time buying only. The government has said, oh, shoot, okay, we really need to help everybody now.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is it doesn't mean that if you don't have 5%, 10% down, you cannot buy a house. That is thing of the past.
Sure.
That's a myth. That's gone.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, it's nice if you have it.
Yeah, if you have it and you want to do that, by all means do.
But
okay?
that is not stopping you from getting a home if you don't have it
So
anymore.
if you need to move to the first home or you need to upgrade to the next home and you want to keep the house you have as a rental, guess what? I got the tools. I got the resources to help you with that.
Absolutely.
So and even this, let me tell you something. I got a guy. Listen, this is funny. I got a guy that have a home.
Yeah.
Wanted to upgrade to a better home and keep his old home as a rental.
Okay.
Guess what? We still give a state of New Mexico programs to give him money for the down payment on the new one.
Good for him.
And he kept the other one as a rental. Come on, folks. If you want to be part of the system and part of the game, like Mike says always, it's a matter of making the decision.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to better your family and do better for yourself, it's there, guys.
This is America.
It's America. It's for the taking.
How it is.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's no more like, oh, I cannot buy a house and this and that. No, you just need to be guided by somebody that actually cares enough. That's another thing too. I don't care how big or small your loan is. You're gonna get taken care of like you're $1 million customer.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
that's my thing.
Your
and
pride in yourself.
And my
in
whole,
that,
Team Roswell, because I have a team now, so it's no longer Elliot by himself.
He does a little help, so he's a little easier to get a hold of.
Now I got more. I'm calling them the Three Musketeers. We're looking for D'Artagnan. So we can have our force.
We need a D'Artagnan out there. Anybody?
So my point is,
Go
guys,
with the pen skills.
We got the right company. When I decided to switch companies, I really did my homework. I looked for somebody, a company that was going to really back me up and help me help you.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, sound almost like Jerry Maguire now. Help me help you. Okay.
Right. Show me the money.
Show me the money. Folks, I got the tools. I got the programs. I even have a program with the company that I can give. Okay, listen to this. This is for first-time home buyers and repeating, customers.
Okay.
Okay. On an FHA loan, if you don't have an FHA loan right now, okay, I can give you, if you qualify, 5% of the sales price of the home that you are purchasing.
Wow.
So that means I got 1.5 for closing costs and 3.5 for your down payment. Folks, I'm almost giving you everything to buy a home.
Yeah,
okay?
really.
If you qualify, you got the program. It's called Access Zero by Loan Depot. Okay,
good deal.
And let me tell you something. That's just one of the programs that we have.
And it's been very beneficial for.
So there's a lot of stuff out there to help people, and it doesn't matter if you have a little money in the bank. That means you don't need to be broke when you buy a house.
Absolutely.
Okay,
it's kind of nice if you're not.
Exactly. No, but you know what? If you're in the market, I got the team. I got the resources. I got the experience.
Sure.
Okay. I got the ways how to do it one way or another. I always believe there's a way to get it done.
Sure.
Okay. Uncover every stone and it'll happen. Fold everything back and then it'll fit in the box.
Yep.
Trust me, folks.
This is what he does. He treats people like people and works with them like people in a world that everyone deals with numbers and crunching numbers and it's very easy to gravitate towards the numbers than the customer service and the people. You focus on that first and explain the numbers to them. And
correct.
That's what it is. Call Elliot if you're listening and thinking, you know what, I need to talk to this man. I'm ready to make that step happen. Call him direct at on his cell at 719-237-4680. Again, that's 719-237-4680. You can call the office at 505. Notice 505 445-2070 445-2070, or you can check out his website. He's got his own website. It is www.loandepot.com/Elliot Rodriguez, all one word, all lowercase. He spells Elliot with one L and a Z on his Rodriguez at the end there. And then, of course, you can also email Elliot, very similar, Elliot Rodriguez, again, all one word, same thing, at loandepot.com.
Yes, sir.
You can shoot that email. And, of course, he's on Facebook as well, too. Just look for Elliot Rodriguez on Facebook.
Let me tell you something. I'm a salesman. Jesus Christ. I sell vacuum cleaners for God's sake. I mean, I've done a lot of things. God have blessed me to the point that I have got a lot of experience, so I can put myself in the same level of my customers.
Absolutely.
Okay, because I work for you guys, folks. not the other way around.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm here. I don't have any other agenda but to help you accomplish the dream of owning a home.
And at the end of the day, when you guys are happy, that makes him happy, and it also is good for his business because
Yes, you know.
he doesn't have to. It's kind of like people that cook chitlins. They don't need to advertise. They're just dark cooking. And,
That's very true. That's very true.
And so it kind of by default
I love
creates
it.
that a
I
little
love
bit,
it.
too.
But
Yeah.
no, you know what? Don't hesitate. If anybody tell you no before, there's always a way, folks.
Absolutely,
there's always a way.
Absolutely. Well, Elliot, thank you as always. Apologize for our
No
our
worries.
double booking here, but have a good weekend. We'll see you next time. All right.
All right.
For your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Sorello. Fire crews on scene of a wildfire near the community of Cloudcroft. The Mosier Fire, it's burning 4 miles east of Cloudcroft, causing Highway 82 at mile marker 17 to 25 to be closed and evacuated until at least 8 p.m. tonight. Village Mayor Craig Turner said there are some evacuation centers open in Mayhill at the Cool Pines RV Park, Mayhill Baptist Church, and Civils Baptist Retreat. And shelters are open at the cabins at Cloudcroft, Dusty Boots Motel and Cafe, Summit Inn, and Cloudcroft United Methodist Church. Animal evacuation is available at the Otero County Fairgrounds in Alamogordo. The U.S. Forest Service said Sitting Bull Falls has reopened under modified hours. The historic recreation site in the Guadalupe Ranger District of the Lincoln National Forest closed May 7th due to ongoing staffing shortages. While those staffing issues continue, the Forest Service announced that to serve the public and facilitate access, staff from other districts have been temporarily deployed to open the gate from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Thursdays through Mondays. Sitting Bull Falls will continue to be closed Tuesdays and Wednesdays. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
You pay a lot of money to use the internet, and you wouldn't want anyone stealing your Wi-Fi. You could get into a lot of legal trouble. I'm Kim Commando for Keeper Security, the password manager accessible from any device. Get a discounted personal or family plan your first year at keepersecurity.com/Kim. Someone just needs to be walking or driving by or live close enough to pick up your Wi-Fi signal if it's not locked down. Here's how to check. Turn off all your wireless devices and head to your router. Open a browser and type in your router's IP address. Use your username and password to log in. Find the section that shows all devices connected to your Wi-Fi. It's usually called Connected Devices or Device Lists. Now, if you see any devices you don't recognize, you could have an internet freeloader. Now, if that freeloader does anything illegal, from scamming others to distributing kiddie porn, law enforcement will knock on your door. That's why you must protect your Wi-Fi with a good, hard-to-guess password right now. Enter to win a brand new iPhone 15 at winfromkim.com. Passwords drive me crazy. Don't you hate coming up with all those account passwords that need an uppercase letter, a lowercase letter, a number, a symbol, and then it needs to be 12 to 18 characters? What a nightmare. We'll end those days forever. With Keeper Security, you can easily create, store, and track your account usernames and passwords. You can share them with family, friends, and colleagues without compromising on security. They'll even alert you if your password is on the dark web and needs to be changed ASAP. All that peace of mind and no more password frustrations for only $17.50 the first year. Let me tell you, that's a win. Go to keepersecurity.com/Kim for this amazing deal. They have over 275,000 five-star reviews, and that many people can't be wrong. Go to keepersecurity.com/Kim right now. Just $17.50 for the first year. It's the password manager I use and I recommend. That's keepersecurity.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things stay sunny and hot for the next few days. We'll be hitting the mid-90s for the afternoon high today. It will be a little windy, especially around the Carlsbad area. Gusts around 25 to 30 miles an hour. Sunshine through the afternoon. Upper 50s and clear for the overnight hours. And then about 90 for the high on Wednesday and sunny. We'll stay sunny on Thursday and Friday, mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, here to announce that our geraniums are ready. So now the great debate begins. Are they pink or are they raspberry sorbet? Are they orange or are they Caribbean coral? Well, whatever you call them, they're the prettiest geraniums anywhere. We raise them in our own greenhouse, then send them home with you to brighten up the world. So come get yours now while the selection is best. Don't worry about the silly names.
I heard that.
Yes, dear. Coming, dear. Right away, dear. Of course, you're right.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. You've convinced yourself it's warm enough to swim in your pool for the first time this season, even if the temperature still carries a hint of fading cold. Who cares? You've paid your winter dues. With hours inside and too much pie, it's time to open your pool. Barbecues, suntans, and games of Marco Polo. Here you come. The only question is, how ready is your pool? It has been waiting patiently for this day too, ready to make your neighbors drool. If you rely on BioGuard products, get ready to slap on some sunscreen and fire up the grill. Not only does BioGuard provide simple solutions, they also have expert dealers who can help you be the best pool owner you can be. Because when your eyes sparkle at the side of your pool, they should always return the favor. Visit your BioGuard dealer at Mays Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell, and start the season off right.
We cut to order, special order, products sold and new. You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
Every person listening to this ad right now will agree we as a nation are facing an uncertain future. We're at a crossroads. The status quo has failed us. We've got to fight. We've got to take back what we have lost. With your vote, you can join this fight. We can no longer squander our vote and our voice as if we're voting in a high school popularity contest. Nor can we continue electing self-serving politicians that claim to fight for you while making backroom deals that have facilitated the erosion of your liberties while destroying our livelihoods. My association with various different grassroots organizations, patriot groups, and activists has led to statewide citizen participation efforts to initiate grand jury investigations and the referendum of historically egregious laws. Similar efforts are being planned. These efforts will continue far into the future. We have within our reach the tools and weapons we need to end this tyranny and stop the assault on our faith, our liberties, and our way of life. We have the God-given authority to take back what we have lost. If you vote for Larry Marker, you're not voting for me, you're voting for we.
Paid for by the committee to elect Larry Marker.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. It was a banner day for the Hagerman Bobcats and their leader on this one particular day last week when Hagerman won the state boys track and field championship in Class 2A. Their leader, Javon Aguiar, and there's no questioning that. Javon won the 100-yard sprint, 100-meter sprint, 200 meters, and he won the 400 meters as well as Hagerman topped everybody. Well, he got some help, of course. Javon's teammate Jaime Arabalos in the 400, one of the races that Javon won. Jaime finished third. That always helps with the points. And do we have a Javon somewhere down the pipeline for Hagerman? Maybe. Xavier Barraza, only a freshman. He finished fifth in both the 110-meter high hurdles and the 300-meter high hurdles. Remember, only a freshman. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Federal Reserve officials are not ready to say inflation is heading to the central bank's 2% target after data last week showed a welcome easing in consumer price pressures in April. The White House said Monday that the chairman of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation will step down, a departure that follows a report about the agency's toxic workplace culture. Martin Gruenberg will step down once a successor is appointed, and that President Joe Biden will name a replacement soon. German automaker BMW imported at least 8,000 Mini Cooper vehicles into the United States with electronic components from a banned Chinese supplier. A report by the Senate Finance Committee Chairman Staff said BMW imported the vehicles with parts from a Chinese supplier banned under a 2021 law. Target will be lowering prices on at least 5,000 frequently shopped products, ranging from milk to diapers, as it looks to attract budget-stretched customers. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
During his time in the New Mexico legislature, Senator Greg Nybert has been instrumental blocking legislation from the liberal progressives in Santa Fe that would harm our way of life in this part of the state. Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate for Senate District 27 who has the proven ability and expertise to fight against Santa Fe needlessly imposing their will upon us. Greg Nybert is a lifelong resident of southeast New Mexico and knows this part of the state well. Greg is for strong border control, Second Amendment rights, pro-life, and local control of our school board, and opposes illegal immigration, lenient criminal laws, and restrictive regulations against agriculture and the oil and gas industry. Please vote for Greg Nybert, a proven and experienced conservative champion for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
A comedian once said, "No one can tell me anything, not even myself." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, most people stop listening and start forming an answer or response when someone's talking to them within 7 seconds, so they miss most of the information.
John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me."
You know, when Julie and I were preparing for this, she looked right at me after I spoke for a while and said, "What?" I guess we all have work to do in listening. But you know what? Just like learning to know God takes time and focus and to know His voice, it's going to take time and focus to really get to know our spouse and to really start enjoying and loving marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Get our lowest prices of the year and exceptional trade-in values right now during the Memorial Day sales event at the all-new Roswell Ford. The all-new Roswell Ford has new management and a whole new attitude. And this week, Roswell Ford needs to sell 37 new and quality pre-owned vehicles to hit our sales goal. So we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Stuck in your loan or lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make or miles. Get huge savings on new Fords with rates as low as 0% for 66 months with no payments till July 4th. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Get huge savings and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand financed on select models with approved credit.
Michelle Lujan Grisham has been trying to keep a stranglehold on Roswell and southeast New Mexico for years. She wants to control our industries, jobs, and freedoms, but does not seem to want to control crime or our border. Enough is enough. This is Jared Hembry, and in my first session in Santa Fe, I stood up to her and the radical progressives. We must continue to stand for our principles. Please stand with me for a better, stronger New Mexico. Vote on or before June 4th for Jared Hembry.
Paid for by Jared Hembry for State Representative.
You don't have to live with a non-healing wound. The Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center at Artesia General Hospital provides compassionate care to people experiencing chronic or complicated wounds. Led by certified family nurse practitioner Rochelle McIntyre, our wound care team will work with you to build your customized treatment plan. Podiatrist Jennifer Chow and Joseph Krupa also specialize in lower limb wound care, and we are proud to have state-of-the-art hyperbaric oxygen chambers, a proven treatment that promotes successful healing. Visit artesiageneral.com/wound to learn more.
Have you been following the campaign for Senate District 32? I'm still undecided.
I voted for Candy Azell before, but after 20 years, she's been in office too long. She claims she's tough on the border, but voted to give free health care to illegals, and Azell even voted to raise her own taxpayer-funded pension 3 times.
Candy Azell?
That's right, Candy Azell. She also voted to implement critical race theory in New Mexico.
Critical race theory?
The bill forces school personnel to take annual anti-racism training and rips away local control of schools and hands it to bureaucrats in Santa Fe. Worse, Azell voted to raise taxes by millions on health care for seniors.
Ouch. Who's Candy's opponent?
Chad Hamill. He's a local business owner and former fire chief in Roswell who is running to secure our border, fix our schools, and keep taxes low.
Chad Hamill. He's got my vote.
Paid for by friends of Chad Hamill.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
And good morning. We're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up in just a few short seconds. Stay tuned next hour. We'll have Amy McVeigh-Tejas join us from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico talking about Dine to Donate Night out at Texas Roadhouse. Also, they have their scholarship. They've announced their winners, so they're going to announce that next hour as well. We'll also have the folks from the Chaves County Extension Office join us, give us an update what's happening there with the Extension Office, both with 4-H and through HOMAC and through the ag side as well. So all that coming up next hour, and a bevy of ads, of course, too, because 'tis the season. So June 5th, it'll slow down, I promise. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. Amit Thomason. Testimony may wrap up today at former President Trump's New York trial. Correspondent Michael Sisak says things got heated yesterday as defense witness Robert Costello testified.
Judge Juan Merchan excused the jury and said he wanted to instruct the witness in decorum. He called him out for his under-the-breath remarks and for running through stop signs, running through those objections. During that admonition, the judge got even more incensed. He accused the witness of staring him down and said that at certain points during his testimony, he had been rolling his eyes and giving him side-eye. Upset, the judge ordered the courtroom cleared. Officers ushered reporters out into the hallway.
Costello is back on the stand this morning. Mr. Trump says this whole thing can't come to an end soon enough.
I'm supposed to be making a speech for political purposes. I'm not allowed to have anything to do with politics because I'm sitting in a very freezing cold courtroom for the last 4 weeks. It's very unfair. They have no case. They have no crime.
If the defense rests today, the judge says closing arguments will commence after Memorial Day. Crews have been scrambling to restore power to well over 140,000 utility customers in Houston as temperatures soar. The air conditioning is out. More than a half dozen deaths blamed on last week's violent storms. And parts of the plains and the Midwest could see severe weather today. Although there is still debris to be cleared away, now that huge cargo ship has been moved out of the way, cruise ship operators planning to resume operations out of the port of Baltimore as early as the upcoming weekend. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is 32 points higher, while the Nasdaq is trading 33 points lower, and the S&P currently 3 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Australia and New Zealand sending aircraft to New Caledonia to evacuate their citizens trapped by violent unrest in the French Pacific Island territory.
Some 300 Australians have registered for assistance since the protest began. 2 planes will be coming from Australia, and New Zealand says it will also begin a series of flights to help its citizens, starting with around 50 passengers with the most pressing needs. France has flown in more than 1,000 extra police to boost security in the French overseas territory. More officers are on their way. The French High Commission has also said it's trying to take back control of the road from the capital Noumea to the airport.
The BBC's Katie Watson. Authorities in Pakistan urging people to stay inside as the country is gripped by an extreme heat wave that threatens to bring dangerously high temperatures. Severe flooding is also possible. Forecasters say temperatures could easily exceed 104 degrees across the country. Townhall.com. A prominent Senate Democrat says time for a change at the helm of the FDIC.
Senate Banking Committee Chairman Sherrod Brown on Monday called on President Joe Biden to replace Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation Chairman Martin Grunberg amid allegations of a toxic workplace culture at the agency. The move was a departure from Brown's Democratic colleagues. It comes as he battles for re-election in a competitive race in Ohio and has increasingly distanced himself from Mr. Biden on an array of policies. Brown said that given the troubled claims against the bank regulator and its leadership under Grunberg, there, quote, must be fundamental changes at the FDIC. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
The White House defending its decision to extend official U.S. condolences to Iran over the death of the Islamic Republic's president. Congressional Republicans blast the decision. They note that Ibrahim Raisi was responsible for the deaths, the torture of tens of thousands of innocent people, including many women and children. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Have you been following the campaign for Senate District 32? I'm still undecided.
I voted for Candy Azell before, but after 20 years, she's been in office too long. She claims she's tough on the border, but voted to give free health care to illegals. And Azell even voted to raise her own taxpayer-funded pension 3 times.
Candy Azell?
That's right, Candy Azell. She also voted to implement critical race theory in New Mexico.
Critical race theory?
The bill forces school personnel to take annual anti-racism training and rips away local control of schools and hands it to bureaucrats in Santa Fe. Worse, Azell voted to raise taxes by millions on health care for seniors.
Ouch. Who's Candy's opponent?
Chad Hamill. He's a local business owner and former fire chief in Roswell who is running to secure our border, fix our schools, and keep taxes low.
Chad Hamill. He's got my vote.
Paid for by friends of Chad Hamill.
You're invited June 15th in downtown Artesia, New Mexico to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Permian Basin's oil and gas industry, marked by the success of Illinois No. 3 well in 1924. Enjoy a day filled with a patriotic equipment parade, food trucks, water slides, live music, an oil field cook-off, snow cones, oil field Olympics, and more. For more information, visit artesiachamber.com or call 575-746-2744. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate in the race for State Senate District 27 with a strong conservative record on border security and stopping illegal immigration. Greg Nybert has voted against free college for illegals. He's voted against professional licensing for illegals. He has stood strong against Michelle Lujan Grisham, turning New Mexico into a sanctuary state for drugs, crime, and criminals. He has fought to end catch and release for violent criminals and will continue to do so. New Mexico is at the center of a border crisis because our laws make us a haven for illegal immigrants, drug trafficking, and cartel activity. MLG's liberal agenda has unleashed terrible harm on our state. That's why a vote for Greg Nybert is a vote to take back our border security. Greg will keep fighting against the march of the radical left that threatens to harm our way of life. Vote for Greg Nybert, a proving conservative voice for State Senate.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8 minutes after 8 o'clock.
See, now it's okay to check.
Welcome to hour number 2 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Yeah, we start a little late. This will all go away for a bit.
It will for just a couple of months.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't think that once the midterms, the primary season's done here, it's going to get quiet because once we get to the general, there'll be a lot of presidential and national race stuff.
Right.
A lot of the local stuff already be decided.
Pretty much after the primary, it's just like, okay, now
it'll be
that's...
House, U.S. House seats and Senate seats and presidential races. All the so I'm dare I say, it'll get a little. It won't be as vitriol. On the local airways.
Yeah, it shouldn't feel as cutthroat in about, we'll call it like 2 weeks.
Yeah. But in the meantime,
actually 2 weeks from today.
Yeah,
pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yep, make it happen.
You're correct, sir. So go vote, or vote on election here. But you can do early voting, do all that now. Unfortunately, I can't stop the ads. That's going to continue till after the primary date. Because that should be. Technology hasn't gotten there yet. But it's like, hey, I already voted. I officially don't have to listen to these anymore. Like,
right.
There should be.
We should be able to be done. I always hear people talk about like, how do we get more people to the poll for local elections? I have the answer, but every time I've presented it, it's been laughed at. It's been said, somebody completely non-biased, completely center of the road, no political affiliation whatsoever, show up at every voting site and cook hot dogs.
Sure.
I guarantee if you just have somebody at polling places just grilling hot dogs, guaranteed you are going to get every single one of those people who claim they would never vote.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody will show out for a free ballpark.
You know what's going to happen, though? This is what will happen. Oh, you're just attracting conservatives because liberals want vegan dogs.
That's exactly every time I've presented it, it's been countered with, well, who's going to provide the hot dogs?
Yeah.
Who's going to cook? And what's their purpose?
They come out.
What are they there to promote?
Yeah.
Well, who can stop them from wearing a certain kind of T-shirt? What about a color? It's like, oh my God.
What if it's kosher? Now you're going to...
I'm trying to answer one question, and you guys are presenting me with 27 more.
These are not kosher, therefore you are against... Yeah, it's going to be that whole...
Oh, man. We're not doing Hebrew National, so this guy right here is an anti-Semite.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it would turn into.
And that, my friends, is why I'll never get into politics. People are like, don't you ever have any aspirations for politics? Hell no! I don't want to be a part of this show.
That's why, to me, the whole community logo is so much apropos because it is such encapsulates life nowadays as the mascot for whatever Greendale or whatever the name of the college was on community.
Yeah, it was Greendale.
To me, that just and that's why that's so funny because, be honest, that's not that far of a stretch.
Picturing me with an actual business desk where like it'll have a nameplate on it.
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense in my head. I'm a guy who walks around with a worry stone.
Yeah.
I'm not somebody that has a desk with his name on it.
Although, if you had one, like on your desk. In my head, for some reason, it'd be a big oak mahogany jobber, and it would have that official-looking calendar,
right? Of course,
thing
you gotta have that there, right?
Yeah,
your ledger on the side, maybe a
computer,
pin set.
and the phone and normal accoutrement,
and then every fidget toy known to man. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
But I would get like in my head for some reason the wind-up laughing jaws.
Okay, I can see that.
That needs to be sitting there.
Right, I'm waiting for you to say the one that's guaranteed to be on my desk. I want to see if you can nail it. Because the Jaws is a good one, but
yeah, the Jaws. A few Funko Pops.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you
that. Bottles of various weird flavored beverages.
See, I keep those in the back on a shelf.
Yeah, that would.
But
be
we're talking
not
about
on the desk.
we're talking about desk
the Jaws
centric.
Would be on the desk.
There's one particular item I just want to see.
Crab claw pen. No, but a weird pen.
That's going to be in the jar of pens.
Trying to think what you would.
Can I just say it?
Go ahead.
Newton's cradle.
What did explain that to me?
The thing with the five balls.
Oh yes, okay, that's what that's called. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's called a Newton's cradle. Yeah,
you would totally be.
Of course, I would have a Newton's cradle on my desk,
and it would always be going, and you'd always be complaining about it.
I would have it like battery powered.
Like you'd make it click, and then about 10 minutes later, you're complaining and won't stop clicking.
clicking. I'm creating my own problems.
That's what the thing's called?
It's basic.
Or if not that, at least an abacus just sitting there.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny to me because the Newton's cradle was the fidget toy or fidget spinner before the fidget spinner existed. Because there was somewhere there was like a scientist that just needed a toy to play with on his desk. But it had to look fancy. Well, and there came the Newton's cradle.
Isn't there a function to it, like a timing thing or something, like for music or something? I know there's the timer, but like, isn't there an actual function for that thing? Like,
not really. I think it's just it was created as an experiment to explain centrifugal explain, is it inertia? That an object
don't ask me about science.
An object in motion will stay in motion until acted upon by another force, which is the non-motion of these balls. The energy travels through all the balls, and the export of that energy comes out in the last ball.
Right.
It was an experiment to see how the transfer of energy essentially works.
But I feel like it served a purpose, like it was used for timing or.
I guess you could kind of use it as like a metronome, but eventually the balls start getting off beat. So it doesn't necessarily work as such.
I don't know. I feel like somebody had a reason for it.
A little stress relief, I'm sure. I think, Newton himself was just sitting in an office just stressed out one day. He's like, I need something.
Well, there was a lot of years when there was no TV and radio. So maybe that was to kill the time. Maybe that was, I need some background noise.
Yep. There it is. I have to think, but I this tonight, darn this tinnitus. Ayana in the chat actually brought up a good point. She brought this up over the weekend too, because we were talking about the Rolodex and how kids today will never know what a Rolodex is.
Right.
The thing with the wheel on the side and all the cards flip. But I'm
pretty sure Rolodex is like a registered trademark name. It probably has some kind of generic name.
Possibly. I'm going to do you one better though.
All right.
Because I brought this up and it was before I finished describing it. It was finished being described by Ayana. So I knew this more than just me had this. It was a small brown rectangle, and it had A to Z and a little dial.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Do you remember these?
Oh yeah.
And you'd put it on like B, and you'd push the button on the bottom, and it would flip up.
Oh yeah.
And it'd have all your B's on there.
Oh yeah, I remember. This is a long time ago. I think one of the first times I experienced one of those was. I remember as a child, and my dad had to take me to work. And I don't remember if I had something going on in D.C. that day. I don't remember if it was something for scouts or something school or medical. I don't remember. But for whatever reason, I went with Dad to D.C. and to work. And it was young because he was working for Office of Personnel Management, OPM, which is... everybody in D.C. works for the federal government. There's just a lot of that what happens.
Right.
OPM is retirements. They deal with all the personnel of the government.
Okay.
They handle your retirements. They do all. That's what OPM. Matter of fact, Hugh Hewitt, prior to his radio days and all that, he was head of OPM back probably around the time my dad was there, actually. But anyway, so Dad dragged me to work, and I was like, whoa, this is, government building. That's when you realize that government workers are... But anyway,
little hoity-toity.
Dad being one of them. But anyway, he had me sit at his desk while he was doing something, keeping things. We have a guest here. Very good. And so he had that Rolodex, the same one where you slide it to the letter and then hit the button and it pops open to all the ones in that thing. And I spent approximately 45 minutes doing nothing but that.
Exactly. It was so much fun when you were a kid to just be like, flip, and just to push the dial and just see what you end up with. Yeah. Nobody ever put anything on X. So you could draw naughty drawings on X. But it's funny how these things are universal. I brought this up in the past, but everybody I've talked to had in their home or knew someone who had in their home that 3-drawered, wood taped on the front VHS drawer that you would pull the plastic. Everybody had one of those. It's was there just a door-to-door salesman that just sold wood-coated things?
I'll do you one better. I not only had the VHS tape version one, I had the audio cassette version of that same thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was the same wood shelves, but
just
it was
with
smaller
different
for
brackets.
audio cassette size.
Really? Well, I tip my nerd cap to these, sir. But it always blows me away how people just have universally have a thing. Or this is another one. Did you ever know someone who had a VHS rewinder Hold on.
Yeah.
Shaped like a sports car.
No, that's
Okay,
not a sport.
because I've talked to like 7 people, and they're like, yeah, my uncle had that exact same
I
rewind.
feel like they were, I remember them, and I remember seeing them in the store, but I didn't know actually someone that owned one.
And when you would push the lid down, the lights would pop up.
Yeah.
It was really cool. My uncle was
We got to
the
move
coolest.
on, but
I know.
but one more thing that reminded me of, one of those things like that when I was a kid, that I think I knew 2 friends that had one, and I ain't going to lie, I always wanted one, and they're not practical. As a matter of fact, they're the least practical of all of them.
Okay.
The Mickey Mouse phone.
Oh my God, yes.
With the little handheld and the talking to Mickey's face, and you got the, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I had 2 friends that had that phone, and they're not practical because, they're not cordless. This was it was just, and you really got to hold it like old school.
Now, we didn't have that one. What we had was the one where Mickey held the phone, like the handle, the phone. I don't even know what you call it. The phone itself.
The receiver.
The handset. There it is, handset. And when you picked it up, his arms would pop up, and that would give you the dial tone. But it would hang, you push it down, and they would hang up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
That's
I
the
think that
one
was
we
the more
had.
modern one.
Yeah.
The one my time was the one with the thing you had to talk in his mouth.
That's amazing. Operator, give me Klondike 5.
That's right. Call Mary. Mary at Ot2. Anyway.
Right away, Mr. Barry.
Let me give you the rundown. Amy is patiently waiting. So, Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast Mexico are going to join us here in just a few. We're going to talk about 2 big things, actually. Tonight, Texas Roadhouse is doing their Dine to Donate night for the Historical Society. We ask that you print or acquire the flyer, which you can get on our Facebook. If you call Amy or text her, she'll shoot it to you. But anyway, for tonight, if you go to have dinner, you don't even have to have steak. Have barbecue.
Yeah.
Have a burger.
There you go.
Have a salad there. I know that's weird. Go to the steakhouse, but you do you. But we'd love to have you join us for dinner tonight out there. And also the committee that has painstakingly gone through to pick our scholarship winners has done so and announced the winners. So we'll talk about that with her as well. We also have the folks in the Extension office scheduled to join us later in the hour, too, to get us up to date on what's happening there. So we'll get that knocked out.
I want to know how a print company out there has not thought to name their company Acquire the Flyer. That's an amazing name for a print company.
It's pretty good.
That's really good. Acquire the Flyer.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. We'll start a hashtag.
It's got a nice ring to it.
Hashtag Acquire the Flyer. Hashtag Acquire the Flyer. Yes. It is 8:21. Let's do this. Let's get you up to date with weather and then take a quick commercial break. And then on the other side, we'll have Amy join us from the Historical Society. Don't go away.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things stay sunny and hot for the next few days. We'll be hitting the mid-90s for the afternoon high today. It will be a little windy, especially around the Carlsbad area. Gusts around 25 to 30 miles an hour. Sunshine through the afternoon. Upper 50s and clear for the overnight hours. And then about 90 for the high on Wednesday and sunny. We'll stay sunny on Thursday and Friday, mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Have you been following the campaign for Senate District 32? I'm still undecided.
I voted for Candy Azell before, but after 20 years, she's been in office too long. She claims she's tough on the border, but voted to give free health care to illegals. And Azell even voted to raise her own taxpayer-funded pension 3 times.
Candy Azell?
That's right, Candy Azell. She also voted to implement critical race theory in New Mexico.
Critical race theory?
The bill forces school personnel to take annual anti-racism training and rips away local control of schools and hands it to bureaucrats in Santa Fe. Worse, Azell voted to raise taxes by millions on health care for seniors.
Ouch. Who's Candy's opponent?
Chad Hamill. He's a local business owner and former fire chief in Roswell who is running to secure our border, fix our schools, and keep taxes low.
Chad Hamill. He's got my vote.
Paid for by friends of Chad Hamill.
My name is Pat Boone, and I'm running for the New Mexico State Senate, District 27. My deep-rooted connection to the land and understanding of the challenges facing rural communities make me uniquely qualified to represent the interest of District 27 in the State Senate. I love this district and its people, and I look forward to representing you in Santa Fe. I'd appreciate your Republican primary vote on June 4th.
Paid for by Committee to Elect Pat Boone, New Mexico Senate, District 27, Mark McKay, Treasurer.
Are you walking around with a space in your mouth from a missing tooth? Are you having difficulty chewing? Or are you holding back on your big smile in those group photos? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. Did you know that we provide dental implant treatment for our patients? We can help you replace one tooth or all your teeth with dental implants. Why not call our office today? Set up an appointment and let's chat about options that will boost your confidence and allow you to live the life with the smile you want.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
Michelle Lujan Grisham has been trying to keep a stranglehold on Roswell and southeast New Mexico for years. She wants to control our industries, jobs, and freedoms, but does not seem to want to control crime or our border. Enough is enough. This is Jared Hembry, and in my first session in Santa Fe, I stood up to her and the radical progressives. We must continue to stand for our principles. Please stand with me for a better, stronger New Mexico. Vote on or before June 4th for Jared Hembry.
Paid for by Jared Hembry for state representative.
It's Kubota Orange Days. Shop the year's best selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. And now, through June 30th, get 0% APR for 84 months and up to $2,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit Amigo Machinery, located at 2801 Southeast Main Street, Roswell.
Why are outside special interest groups attacking conservative Candy Spence Ezell? The PAC attacking Candy Spence Ezell is funded by pro-marijuana politicians from Albuquerque and Las Cruces, who recently voted for free college for illegal immigrants and putting feminine products in boys' bathrooms in our schools. This effort is being directed by the disgraced senator who currently occupies this seat, who can't win another election after getting caught cheating on his wife with a teenager in Santa Fe. But he can't let go of power, so he's desperate to have his own puppet candidate win this seat. That's why they're lying about Candy Spence Ezell's long-standing conservative record. Don't let them get away with flat-out lies. Candy Spence Ezell has an unmatched record of fighting for our rights and our way of life. Get out to vote early, and when you do, vote for conservative Republican Candy Spence Ezell for State Senate.
Paid for by Candy Spence Ezell for State Senate District 32.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:26, and joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh is back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, good. Before we talk about tonight, yep. I want to brag on our committee. They did a great job of going through the highly qualified and excellent applications for our yearly scholarships here, and we finally came to a decision, and we have our. And I'm not going to lie, I see the photos, and I'm like, awesome. But because for the first time we have the continuing education scholarship, and I'm not going to lie, I saw a face that was not high school age that threw me off a little bit. I'm like, whoa, oh yeah, we have a new category this year. That's right. So that's really cool. We do have someone that is like me, has a little salt pepper action going on. Yeah.
Shout out to Mary. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, that's so
That just made me happy.
You know,
I was like, oh,
it is. And that's true. That when you look at our very diversified from so many different schools and towns and colors and stuff. It just tells you, I love New Mexico. I love Chaves County. I love that we're all just coming together to work together for the good, and shout out so on behalf of the Historical Society, we want to just thank the Linda Hayes Trust, the TSI Family Fund, FM Nelson, the Garcia family, and Mary Ellen Johnston. Garcia and Mary Ellen Johnston are a unique situation. The Garcia family's given in the past, but per you and I speaking on the radio, Mary Ellen Johnston and the Garcia family stepped it up and said, hey, we want to offer a scholarship. So they opened that opportunity to somebody else. So we have two continuing ed individuals.
Oh, good.
So on behalf of the Historical Society Continuing Ed Scholarship, we want to celebrate Barry Anderson. He lives here in Roswell. Yeah. And also Frederick York. He attends Eastern. He received our scholarship last year. and he applied this year, and we're just so happy to. So let's be clear, with the continuing ed opportunities, any individual that has, and let me tell you, there were quite a few applicants that have received our scholarships in the past. We had a huge group of continuing ed. Awesome. So shout out to them. And character, we were talking ball before we got on the air, so shout out to Ross Elliott Stokes, GHS Character Scholarship. He's also a Goddard Rocket baseball player. Shout out to them. Well, hey, all for the love of game. Good job.
Absolutely.
Good job to Goddard and all of our athletes.
Absolutely.
I was, we were following so many things, whether it was track and this and that, and I keep up with kids. I don't care where you go to school. If you're representing us, good job.
Absolutely.
But we do celebrate our own. So good job. He's obviously he's got game on and off the field. I mean, he's getting down to with those books and taking care of business.
Absolutely.
And good for him. I love those well-rounded individuals.
See where he takes this with.
That's exactly right.
Caleb
James Ross, early college. We gave him his scholarship last night. Thank you, Jason Garcia, our president. Was thrilled to be at the early college. I'm happy to say we have 2 individuals from early college. Early college, this is our first year we've ever had recipients from early college. We love to celebrate that.
Absolutely.
STEM category, Junior V Hill, Fort Sumner. Shout out for a $1,250 scholarship. John and I went down to Fort Sumner last night. Woo! They're special down there. But shout out to Junior. He's also a double-year recipient of the teen leadership. He as a junior and a senior.
So got it going on
he
here.
did.
So, yeah.
Junior's got amazingness going on himself. He's a state champion. The joke is, boy, you've got to be an athlete down in Fort Sumner because those kids are all 4.0 students playing all sports. So Junior, shout out to them also. Humanities, amazing one, female. We've got a couple of females here. Elizabeth Ann Berry, Gateway Christian, Humanities Scholarship, $1,250.
Nice.
She sure is a special young woman. We had the privilege of giving her father an Honor the Badge Award, too.
Oh, great.
So,
Their
hey,
character
you know,
counts.
when we're celebrating great people.
Absolutely.
So, and last but not least, we had Alvaro Salas, early college, and then Clarice Tejas Coelho. I know she had been on through an Emmy. She's now in Spain, I believe.
Oh, is she?
But
Good for her.
$1,000, yes. She's studying abroad in Spain. I literally think she graduated, was on that plane, and she's studying abroad.
So
Girl didn't stop.
So no one went to Spain to present it with her. You went to Fort Sumner, not Spain.
Well, literally, we had to throw it over there, and she's the character counts, and I didn't have time to celebrate all of her amazingness.
That's awesome.
But shout out,
So we'll have
you
to-
can't keep up with that girl. She's an
Send that
amazing.
send her the mail here or
But
whatever.
we had the privilege of celebrating 9 amazing students, and without the Hayes Trust and many other individuals, we would have never been able to do that. We love to celebrate these kids. Let's be clear, that is the hardest thing, hands down, we do. Right now, we're having to make decisions for Youth Challenge scholarships. This is hard. We do have spreadsheets. We do total up. It's rough.
Absolutely.
It's rough.
It is
so
very,
thank you.
I am so
oh my goodness.
appreciative, but not at all envious of that work that they have.
Follow us on Instagram or Facebook. We did celebrate all these kids, and shout out for graduation. Roswell High Goddard.
And all that applied, thank you.
Yeah,
and even if you didn't you weren't awarded, it wasn't because you weren't deserving. Everyone, we would have loved to give every single person a scholarship. But keep at it, please.
Well, that's
please
right.
Keep applying
And thank you for mentioning that, Mike, because just because you didn't win doesn't mean we won't help.
Yeah.
And any way we can help, we will. And I've had a couple of students reach out, and we're helping in other ways with other opportunities in any way we see fit. So it's not over. It's never over. And any way we can help, we'd be happy to.
Yep. You know, keep your head down, keep your nose to the grindstone.
That's right.
Good things will
That's
happen.
right. That's right.
Now.
Yes.
We'd love to invite people to eat some steak or some barbecue or a hamburger or, God forbid, at a steakhouse, a salad.
That's right. It's all possible there too.
But tonight, once again, the fine folks at Texas Roadhouse are doing what they do and giving back to the community. Yep. And of course, we just had the VFW on yesterday talking about they did their Dine to Donate last week. And Historical Society is having tonight as their Dine to Donate night. So I think starting 3 o'clock, right?
3 o'clock.
Starting at 3 p.m. today. If you bring a flyer or show the flyer, the Dine to Donate, which you can get on our Facebook,
Instagram,
or Instagram, or shoot a text or an email to Amy. She'll be happy to.
You can text me even right now at 575-915-4471 if you need the image.
Yeah.
If you're not in social media, if you need to drive by, we had some last time. Drive by and want a copy. Good.
Yeah.
We'll print it out. We've got copies. We'll be happy to do that.
But do that and then go have dinner.
Yep.
At Texas Roadhouse. Now, it will work with the to-go orders as well too. You just need to, when you go in to pick up your food, show them the flyer.
Yes.
And so they know to count that towards the Historical Society.
I can't tell you how many times y'all aren't showing something.
Yeah.
So you have to show, and like you said, it has to. Even with to-go, do not presume, I'm here, so it helps the society.
Because what happens is most people do to-go, they order through the app, and so it's all paid for and done through the app.
That's exactly right.
And so when you get there, you say, hey, I want to do this. And so they'll know to count your sale towards the total.
That receipt will go right into our little bucket, and every penny counts.
So if you don't feel like sitting down and joining people for dinner and stuff, or you got a busy night and on the go, you can do it through to-go here. And so from 3 till, I think it's about 10, right?
3 to 10. So if you need
to,
I know we've got some people doing some late things and traveling, and they jokingly said it might be late. Well, it's 3 to 10, so it's all good.
Anytime. And how it works is basically a portion of your dinner meal cost, they will donate back to the Historical Society.
They're amazing.
And by the way, they do this for many organizations.
They do,
stuff too.
and thank you to them. We appreciate
and big
it.
thank you to Texas Roadhouse for supporting the community.
That's
not only the Historical side, but every single community
all the
organization that's doing great
youth,
things here.
softball teams, everything.
Yeah, it's great, and we appreciate this. So tonight is that night.
Tonight's
so if you don't have dinner plans yet, maybe
let us be your dinner
maybe
plans.
get a steak or
whatever you want. I mean, they've got a great
chicken,
menu.
You know,
That's right. Pork chops. They've got a lot of fun.
And if you want steak, but you don't want like a big old steak, go with the beef tips.
Yes.
That way you get your steak on, but you don't have a
something.
big hulking steak, and you got and you get your beans or rice or whatever, and you're good to go.
Yep.
So, good deal. But that is tonight.
Yep.
And of course, RoswellNMHistory.org is the website if you have any questions about anything. If don't forget, with summer months and weddings and quinceañeras and various fun activities.
We're doing a lot of groups this summer. So if you've got kids or we've got homeschoolers, we'll do tours. Most importantly, I just need to mention before we go off the air is 42nd Annual Heritage Dinner honoring Troy Hayes.
Yes.
Reservations are available. Go to RoswellNMHistory.org to celebrate the legacy of Troy Hayes and the legacy of his wife included for all they've done for us and scholarships. Let's take a moment to celebrate him and invest.
Well, the reason we can have the first
future.
part of this conversation is because of Troy Hayes and his family.
That's right.
So we start with
Thank you, Troy.
saluting or appreciative of the service he gave us to allow us to play that blessing to others. And at the same time, on the back end, we're recognizing here and saying this. And to be honest, this is something he's been doing with his family for years.
Oh, absolutely. And again, we're not the only organization.
Yeah, and we're just one
a little bit.
of the benefactors of the others that he helps. And
that's exactly
hence the
right.
reason why the Heritage Dinner. And the great part about it is he's really excited to use this as a platform to do other things.
Oh, he does.
And all of our Heritage Dinner are awesome people and things, and we want to come and honor. But I think he's the first one in recent memory that said, wait a minute, how can I spin this back into doing service?
And so,
that's
quoting Troy Hayes, he challenges us to think, T-H-I-N-K, and think, T-H-A-N-K. So mark your calendars. That is August the 13th. It is a drive-through per his request because that's the way he wants to do it.
Sure.
Menu is by his request, and we love to celebrate his favorites, which, by the way, has got an amazing ballot.
Yeah.
But August the 13th, mark your calendar. You can make that reservation. Pay it forward a meal. Make a reservation for your meal. We do deliver. Or just call and say, I want to donate a scholarship in honor of Troy Hayes because we're still giving.
Yeah, if you're inspired to see what happened
anyway,
here.
Or all of the above.
And to be honest, the other folks, they see this and also get that inspiration. So,
for sure.
So thank you to all that have been inspired and all those that will be inspired.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we'll see you all tonight.
Yay!
Thank you very much.
3 to 10.
Did we get everything?
I think we did.
Awesome.
It's all good. Any questions, text me at 575-915-4471. Call the museum 622-8333 or email me at historydirector@outlook.com.
Father's Day's around the corner. Dad loves books. Dad loves books.
New John LeMay book. I know he needs to come on.
He's
got a great new book. And then Dewey Johnson's book. So we've got great books.
Absolutely.
Great books.
Yeah, we got some. So there's some great gifts for Dad.
Get a tour.
At the Historical Society.
Get a tour. Buy some books.
Yeah. For Mom, too, but really dad-centric.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
loves a good history
That's
book.
true. Oh, for sure. I agree. That's for sure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Always.
Happy day, bud.
It is 8:39. Quick break, and then we're going to talk with the folks from the Chaves County Extension Office. Don't go away. They're political ads, by the way. Well, 2 of the 3. Not too bad.
Thank you, bud. And,
This is State Representative Jim Townsend. Because of the continued efforts of Senator Greg Nybert and others, Republicans have experienced a significant victory. A judge stopped MLG's attack on our local schools' ability to make their decisions on 4-day school weeks. Greg Nybert constantly works behind the scenes to support our communities. I wanted to tell you how much we owe him our thanks. Greg has been a leader protecting local control of our schools. He's one of the best assets conservatives have in New Mexico. Today, he's the only oil and gas expert we have in the state Senate. Greg is the best chance we have in the Senate protecting our jobs from destruction by the progressives and MLG. We must re-elect Greg Nybert because he protects our jobs, our freedoms in southeast New Mexico and New Mexico as a whole. Please join me in supporting Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Have you been admitted to the University of New Mexico? Then it's time to sign up for new student orientation. Whether you're an incoming freshman, transfer, or non-traditional student, at NSO, you'll learn the ins and outs of life as a Lobo. From class schedules to student activities, services and resources to campus living, plus everything in between. So, are you Lobo ready? Your time at UNM begins at NSO. Register for your orientation at nso.unm.edu or apply to UNM at apply.unm.edu.
My name is Pat Boone, and I'm running for the New Mexico State Senate, District 27. My deep-rooted connection to the land and understanding of the challenges facing rural communities make me uniquely qualified to represent the interest of District 27 in the State Senate. I love this district and its people, and I look forward to representing you in Santa Fe. I'd appreciate your Republican primary vote on June 4th.
Paid for by Committee to Elect Pat Boone, New Mexico Senate, District 27, Mark McKay, Treasurer.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 41 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning.
Good morning.
I was ranting right before we got them all riled up. So we got me riled up, got them giggling. Drew and Tam are back with us from the Chaves County Extension Office. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Thanks for having us, Mike.
As always, appreciate it. And, of course, you know, election season all aside, you're getting ready for fair season.
That's it.
So
that's
you
it.
know, that is a busy time of year. The kids will be out of school here in a week or the end of the week here, and then we start turning our attention to the fairs and all that.
It is. Well, our attention's on Thursday. We have our next tag in for livestock, and so that'll be at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds starting at 5 o'clock. So if you have your animals ready and you're ready to get them tagged in, that's where you need to be.
That's where you got to bring them.
Mm-hmm.
So, do all the animals, like every class, or is it more the bigger ones, or does it like people bring the rabbits and stuff at this too? Or?
So rabbits just have to have an ear tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they just have to have an ear tattoo. But the sheep, goats, pigs,
Heifers.
dairy heifers, your steers and heifers for beef should already be taken care of. As of April or May 1st was the deadline for any of the beef projects that are going to state, eastern, or county.
Beef.
And so that was already due. But if you've got goat, sheep, swine, or dairy heifers, now is the time to bring them in.
Or beef.
I'm a little hungry. Chicken or veal.
I know.
But now, in all seriousness, this is a fun time of year.
It really is.
The kids, this is the kids that kind of learn, especially the younger first-year kids. If this is their first time they're showing animals, they're learning the process and learning their way on how to do all this stuff. And these kids, on average, do they do one fair, two fairs, three? You know, what's the average fair circuit for an average 4-H'er?
You know, I would say for Chaves County youth, I would say the average is at least 2. Just because we do have Eastern right here in our backyard as well, so that comes around in October. It is, but I would say that our youth that are participating in livestock, you've got a range. There's some that are just going to show at county. There's some that are planning on showing at state and Eastern as well as county, so they'll go to all three. There's some that are traveling outside of the state to go show in Denver, Arizona,
I didn't know. Is that
Oklahoma.
a thing? I thought there was some state, like, you got to stay in your state to compete.
So they have lots of jackpots and things like that.
Okay,
So
I
our
never
kids,
thought it went
it's massive.
Never
they
gone
are
there.
hauling some of them year round almost.
Lubbock, Texas. Going all over the
I'm
place.
sure it's rare, but could in theory a child from this area do a national version of this?
Yes, very much so.
I don't know, Dallas or something for a national?
Yes. Very much so. And there's a lot of great shows all over the country that youth go to. I know of some youth that have gone all the way as far as Ohio to show.
Awesome.
And so you can take this as far as you want.
Now, let me ask you this. Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
Because really at the end of the day, these kids are hoping to sell the animal at the end to either earn for their next project or raise for college, school, whatever. That being said, obviously animals that win categories generally fetch bigger prices at livestock auctions and things. That's just the nature of the... So when they get to the level of competing in nationals, does that animal even come back to a livestock auction here, or is it's hit bigger waters and we're now in a national livestock auction?
It'll depend on the animal and the show.
Okay.
And so a lot of the dairy heifers, a lot of times the youth will retain ownership unless they choose to go in the sale. It's also going to be very dependent on the show itself and how the bylaws are written. So in the case of like our county fair or Eastern fair, if it hits grand or reserve, it's going to be sold.
Okay.
It has to enter the sale.
By the rules of
and then it can't go back into the show ring.
And then if it is
you won your belt,
correct.
Time to retire.
Yes. and the rules state across the state of New Mexico, if it reaches a sale in the state of New Mexico, it cannot be entered in another show in the state of New Mexico.
So once you put it in the sale area, then that's all she wrote for your showing days.
For that state.
Oh.
So in that rule, you can no longer show it in another show in New Mexico. However, you could take it across the border to Texas.
Which we happen to be not that far from. So.
Exactly. and actually, you'll see there are some buyers that come in at our county fair and at Eastern that purchase a lot of the winners and a lot of the really good animals and take them back and sell them in Texas for kids to show in Texas. And so there is a little bit of connection going across the board. So it's very dependent on the show, dependent on the animal.
See,
and
I never
what your
thought
purpose
of it
is.
those bigger terms. I just think of it as this local grassroots.
It's massive.
Kids,
and that's why these tags.
I mean, and there is a lot of that. I never think of much past that. You know what I mean?
Right. And not all of them are going that direction.
Yeah.
But, that is one of the reasons why the tag-ins are required and so important is because this puts it on a standardized livestock registry for transport and for moving livestock. And so we utilize tags that are required by the livestock board in order for interstate travel and for interstate and within the state. But I
know what you mean.
So yes, for travel, so for the animals to travel. And so that's why we have the brand inspectors there, so we tag them in with proper 840 tags, and then they get checked in with the brand inspectors, and so it's legitimate livestock transport forms that they show ownership and are able to transport those animals.
And of course, this is great, especially for the first years, because this is their first real look of the business side of farming and ranching. And so this is kind of, for some of these kids, probably the first exposure to some of that side of it.
And, those first years, it's a lot of fun to see them and see their experience and see how they work through it. But, I still love when you get those seniors who have been doing it for years and you've seen that transition.
Yeah.
Because you can see where they were their first year and where they are now and that growth in them. It really is impressive in how they show those animals. And even the quality of animals that they bring, not so much that they, purchased a higher quality animal than they have in the past, but because they now understand how to feed that animal properly, how to train that animal properly, and then how to present that animal. I mean, there's so much that goes into it.
You're just seeing a better, well cared for, well maintained, whether it's got, Kentucky Derby references here, stock of some of these thoroughbred champions or not.
That's it.
It's the learning experience. And this is something, kind of adding on to that, and through my own personal experience. I've been in radio for 20 years now, And, I interview kids and things so much over the years. And I'm telling you, and it doesn't matter if they're 4-H or FFA or just the farm and ranch and the fair kids. You know what I mean? When you talk to these young men and women, and I don't care if they're 7 or 17, they all have just I'm telling you, the days that I feel disheveled and upset with the world, I have moments like that, and I talk to these kids, and I'm like, man, there's some real good kids, some real well-adjusted, kids that are going to they're going to do well in life. And every time I'm meeting 4-H kids, I get that feeling every time, because you talk with them and they just the maturity, and don't get me wrong, they're still kids. They act like kids, and but they get the the way of life and respect, and know when to be goofy and know when to be it's a serious time, and that's what I love about it. They still are kids, but they're also getting good training for when they are on their own and adults and have to make their own decisions, and we give them the keys to the castle. So
very much,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a level of maturity and responsibility that really you can see in them, and it's cool to see it develop.
Absolutely. So that's why I love fair season and 4-H so much, because it really shows that. And to be honest, and I want to, because I want to get Tamara over in it. It's equally the same in the education building. We're talking all about in the livestock show ring, but the projects that these kids work on, whether it's food or sewing or painting or crafts, it's that same maturity level. It's that same dedication to detail, all the things that they're learning, whether it's cleaning a calf or doing a food project. They're still learning that same process, that same paying attention to detail, all the things that are important for success. They do that. And so the kids that are making pies and dresses and everything, they're equally as impressive as the ones hauling 800-pound animals around. Love it. So if you're interested in 4-H, I know this is kind of the, not really recruiting season, but please, fair is a great time to see all that 4-H has to offer. When you come out to the fairs, whether it's the Chaves County Fair, the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, or even if you're going down to Eddy County Fair or the State Fair, or Lee or any of our other local neighboring counties here, come see the shows, talk to the families, talk to the kids. Get a real sense of what 4-H and what it's all about, and I guarantee after a few conversations, even if you don't want to touch an animal, you're gonna want to be a part of 4-H in some way, shape.
Well, and there's 250 projects in the 4-H program in New Mexico, and really going and visiting the fair and going through the educational hall and the indoor exhibits really allows those new members to get a sense of what all there is.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of different aspects to 4-H, and you can pick and choose which ones you want to dive into, but it really gives them kind of an overall picture of what's going on.
Yeah, it's really cool. And whatever your child's interests are in, generally there's something that kind of falls into the umbrella of 4-H. And guess what? The adults have a version to the Extension Club too. The running nickname joke is Adult 4-H, and same kind of thing. So if you have adults that have craft projects, or you're into a certain hobby or skill set, maybe there's other people like that too. And of course we already have some already established clubs, but if there's not one that's part of your your cup of tea, so to speak,
we always need more.
Exactly. Here. So don't sleep. Adults, you need 4-H too. Come talk to Tamara at the Extension office. She's got a version for you here too. Anything on the ag side we need? Pesticides
we've got a bunch of
weevils
stuff.
Or anything we need to get on the radar?
Well, pecan weevils not quite yet. Hopefully you were looking at your pecans when you were picking them up earlier this year, but we'll start that up in July, starting with our pecan weevil trap workshops. But coming up here pretty quick, so we have a beef quality assurance certification. So if you do raise beef and livestock, right now this is going through the correct way to utilize antibiotics, vaccines, and the health
In my head, I heard beef quality tester. I'm like, so excited, sir. Guy just eats cooked steaks. Can I be that guy?
No, this is all going through. Yes, and so it gets you on board with regulations that are coming down the pipe, and it also, just helps give you good information for animal livestock health.
Well, and then the world we live in and the sciences, and then you hear the things that are in Europe, and we don't want them here, and this is why we have these kinds of things to keep everybody on the same page.
Well, it's a better educational platform and source. And most of our producers are already utilizing these methods, but it's really honing it in, giving them a certification and clarification that helps them with their market.
Absolutely.
So then when you go to the grocery store and you see, humanely raised, things like that, the reason they can put that on that packaging is because the producers who raise those animals have gone through programs like this.
Gotcha.
And so there's a standardized way of measuring and showing. Yes, it really is a certification so that their market that they're selling to, that they can get into. There are certain entities that will not purchase those livestock if they haven't gotten a certification similar.
It's probably
to this.
the same in produce side. To be certified organic, they have to meet
they have
certain
to
things,
meet a certain criteria.
Same kind of deal here.
Correct. And so that's what this is. That's going to be June 19th, and a meal will be provided. It is a free event.
Is it beef?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
We're having chicken.
You would hope.
No. And so there is a meal provided. It's a free program. We do just ask that everybody register, and that registration link is on our website and also on our Facebook page. I'll be posting it again today, and that just helps give us a head count for the meal.
Well, yeah, absolutely, yeah, because you don't want to shortchange someone on there.
No. Otherwise, I'm going to be eating too much brisket. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, it freezes.
It's true.
And you can put brisket in anything for breakfast, lunch, dinner.
It really is.
It's good in everything.
It is. I mean, beef. It's for not just for dinner. You know what I mean?
That's right. Sandwiches. You can do all kinds of stuff. Brisket, quesadilla. There's so many ways you go with brisket.
And then with the Master Gardeners, we have some exciting news. So the Triangle Garden is just about completed, and so we will be having kind of a grand opening dedication on June 15th at the Triangle Garden, and that is at Cahoon Park on the west side. And so make sure you're there June 15th. We're going to have a little plant sale. We're trying to get a food truck. And just a dedication and excitement of our, collaboration with Keep Chaves County Beautiful to make that into an educational garden.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful park. Cahoon Park is one of my favorite parks in town with all the shade and the mature trees, and and obviously they lost the pool here and all that, but it's evolving to a new thing, and newer stuff, and this Triangle Gardens is part of that centerpiece of the future of Cahoon Park here.
Yes, and if you're used to going to gardening at the library on the third Saturday of the month, that is that same Saturday.
Okay, so we're going to meet at the Triangle Garden.
We're going to be at the Triangle Garden instead of the library this time, but we will be back in July for gardening at the library.
Very good. So if you do go to the library and wonder where everybody's at, they're at Cahoon Park.
Correct.
Anything for the home ec side that we want to get?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we do have another training coming up the first Thursday of June. So if they're interested, they're doing stenciling.
Okay.
So if you're crafty and want to come hang with us, give us a call in the office and let us know you're going to come so we can plan ahead of time. Other than that, you can always join us for crafting for your mental health. Come hang out, learn some de-stressors, have a good time with everybody, and take some crafty stuff home.
Source of income if you get good at it, and depending on what you know. Next thing you know, you got a table at all these craft shows and things like that, and you've got a new passion.
There you go.
Never know.
So in Hagerman, that's the third Wednesday of every month down at the Joy Center. Okay. And here in Roswell, it's the third Thursday of every month at the Senior Center.
So you can come to both if you want to, come at me. Give you an excuse to eat at some of the cool restaurants in the Hagerman-Dexter area.
Very much so. And there's some good ones.
There is. So that's my reason. Like every time I have to go there, I'm like, oh, good. Now I can eat at one of the restaurants there, because, you don't want to go out there. You didn't have to. But now I got an excuse. Now I got this. Now I can go have and justify it. Then you hurt yourself because you eat too much.
Always. But and one other thing too, our shooting sports program isn't quite finished. We had our air pistol team win state again this year. So this is going to be the third year in a row we're taking a team to nationals.
These kids,
which is exciting.
Yeah, they have so much fun. They're really, obviously they're pretty good. They keep going to the
very good.
But they're kind of they're just because it's mostly the same group of kids, right? I mean, they've added one or two.
It was all before. It was before. This is a whole new group.
Okay, so they're just keeping the tradition going.
Only one of them went to nationals on the team 2 years ago for the 22 pistol.
All right,
and so there's only one original, but they are excited and they did really, really well at state. So we feel very confident with them going to nationals. And we're running our fundraiser this time of year, so if you're looking for raffle tickets, please hit up either 4-H Youth or myself, or come down to the office.
Not cheap to send some teenage boys anywhere.
And girls.
And
And so we are, the goal is to make sure that these youth don't have to pay a penny out of pocket. This is one heck of an experience for them to leave New Mexico, go to Grand Island, Nebraska, and represent New Mexico, the state of New Mexico, and they do a wonderful job of it. And it really is like the Olympics. They go in marching, get introduced. It's a phenomenal event and how they put it on, and they do a great job representing New Mexico out there. So please help support these youth and help make sure they don't have to pay a penny out of pocket.
We got to make sure we get to we'll get them on the radio here after all said and done. And
yes.
Chat. They're a fun group. And so technically, pardon the pun, these are the young guns.
Yes. We're going to have to use that more often.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And, of course, come by the Extension office, 200 East Chisholm.
That's it.
Suite 4.
Suite 4. And what's the phone number?
622-3210.
Very good. Thank you guys. And, of course, it's under New Mexico State University. I was looking at his hat. That's why I did that. So if you go on Facebook, you can Chavez County Extension, all under New Mexico State University. There's so you'll find it. So type in NMSU Chavez County Extension. It should pop right up there. So good deal. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM KEND, Roswell, New Mexico news in progress.
Others, Prime Minister condemns it as disgraceful and anti-Semitic.
The outrageous decision by the ICC prosecutor Karim Khan to seek arrest warrants against the democratically elected leaders of Israel is a moral outrage of historic proportions. It will cast an everlasting mark of shame on the international court.
Arrest warrants are also being sought for several high-ranking Hamas officials. They condemn it as well. Denver launching a new program of aid for illegal aliens.
An ambitious program offers migrants as much as a 6-month apartment stay, food, utility assistance, a free computer, a prepaid cell phone, and Metro bus passes. The program is an about-face from strategies Denver has used as cities across the U.S. scramble to support thousands of migrants as they slash budgets. The goal? To help new arrivals who have to wait 6 months for a work permit after applying for asylum under federal law, and it prepares them for their new life. I'm Donna Warder.
Parts of the country's midsection could see more violent storms today. Portions of Iowa, Missouri, and Wisconsin in the bullseye, and that includes Chicago and Milwaukee later on. In Houston, utility crews still working to restore power to more than 100,000 electric customers who have been without since last week's powerful storms. On Wall Street, the Dow up 35 points, the Nasdaq ahead 5, and the S&P trading 5 points higher as well. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
They have been handed their sheepskin and $1,000 to boot.
Billionaire philanthropist Rob Hale surprised the University of Massachusetts Dartmouth graduating class of more than 1,000 students by pointing to a nearby truck holding envelopes stuffed with cash. Hale told the students each would get $1,000, but there was a condition. They were to keep $500 and give the rest away. He said the greatest joy he and his wife Karen had experienced in their lives had come from the act of giving. It's the 4th year in a row that he has given a similar gift to a group of graduating students. Last year, it was to students at UMass Boston, and before that, it was to students at Roxbury Community College and Quincy College. I'm Haya Panjwani.
Nigeria's army says it's rescued hundreds of hostages, mostly women and children, who had been held captive for months or years by Boko Haram terrorists in the country's northeast. News and analysis at townhall.com. The field for the NCAA basketball tournament is taking shape this week.
Conference tournaments will determine most of the 30 automatic qualifiers. Also at stake are 34 at-large bids. The 16 regional hosts will be announced Sunday, the rest of the 64-team field on Monday. The College World Series is June 14th through the 23rd or 24th in Omaha. Top seed in the Power 5 are North Carolina in the ACC, Illinois in the Big 10, Oklahoma in the Big 12, Arizona in the Pac-12, and Tennessee in the SEC. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
If all goes according to plan, this weekend cruise ships will begin operating out of the port of Baltimore again. This comes after the massive cargo ship, the Dolly, was moved out of the way yesterday, and as debris removal goes on in the aftermath of the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. That span came crashing down in March after it was hit by the cargo ship. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Every person listening to this ad right now will agree we as a nation are facing an uncertain future. We're at a crossroads. The status quo has failed us. We've got to fight. We've got to take back what we have lost. With your vote, you can join this fight. We can no longer squander our vote and our voice as if we're voting in a high school popularity contest. Nor can we continue electing self-serving politicians that claim to fight for you while making backroom deals that have facilitated the erosion of your liberties while destroying our livelihoods. My association with various different grassroots organizations, patriot groups, and activists has led to statewide citizen participation efforts to initiate grand jury investigations and the referendum of historically egregious laws. Similar efforts are being planned. These efforts will continue far into the future. We have within our reach the tools and weapons we need to end this tyranny and stop the assault on our faith, our liberties, and our way of life. We have the God-given authority to take back what we have lost. When you vote for Larry Marker, you're not voting for me, you're voting for we.
Paid for by the committee to elect Larry Marker.
Can't hear as well as you used to? That can happen to the best of us. But when you can't hear people speaking or birds chirping, it's time to take action. That's when it's time to call Howard Allman with Here on Earth Hearing Care Center. Howard has been helping people hear better for over 55 years. Howard is who helps the Artesia seniors with servicing their hearing aids of all makes with free cleaning and hearing evaluations. And he's ready to help you. Howard can share with you information on Audibel Intrigue AI hearing aids with many features you might not expect a hearing aid can do, such as using your hearing aids to stream calls, music, and more. Plus, health monitoring, count steps, even fall detection, all built in. Meet face-to-face with someone who can help you choose the right hearing aid for you. Call Howard at 575-622-0375, and he'll be glad to set up a time to meet with you. That's 575-622-0375 for Howard Allman of Here on Earth Hearing Care Center.
Have you been following the campaign for Senate District 32? I'm still undecided.
I voted for Candy Azell before, but after 20 years, she's been in office too long. She claims she's tough on the border, but voted to give free health care to illegals. And Azell even voted to raise her own taxpayer-funded pension 3 times.
Candy Azell?
That's right, Candy Azell. She also voted to implement critical race theory in New Mexico.
Critical race theory?
The bill forces school personnel to take annual anti-racism training and rips away local control of schools and hands it to bureaucrats in Santa Fe. Worse, Azell voted to raise taxes by millions on health care for seniors.
Ouch. Who's Candy's opponent?
Chad Hamill. He's a local business owner and former fire chief in Roswell who is running to secure our border, fix our schools, and keep taxes low.
Chad Hamill. He's got my vote.
Paid for by friends of Chad Hamill.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
A
feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Chris Mirnos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
It's sunny.
Yeah, it's always sunny in Roswell.
By the way, it is not always sunny in Philly.
No, it's really not. It's not often very sunny. A lot of inclement weather in the Philadelphia area.
Yeah. Everything, like, you know when I think of Philadelphia? This is, to me, the epitome of what I think of Philadelphia.
Okay.
The movie Invincible. You ever seen that movie?
Yep,
with
Mac Wahlberg.
Mac Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole Philly experience, that's Philly.
Hey, you with no high school or college experience.
Yeah.
Hey, you with a dream.
All the neighborhoods look like toilets. Yeah,
it's really funny how Mark Wahlberg has been in a lot of those young boy has a dream and makes it happen movies. He's Invincible, Rockstar, The Happening. I mean, he made it happen. Okay, maybe not that third one, but still.
I'm still mad at that movie.
What? No, I hate that movie. Ruined me for M. Night Shyamalan. 100%.
Well, that sealed it. Like, The Village soured me. Mm-hmm. That sealed the deal.
Yeah.
Because that was the last rope-a-dope I'm going to play. You know? like Sixth Sense was amazing. Unbreakable? Yeah, it's all right.
Right.
Lady in the Water.
Lady in the Water.
Ooh, stink fest.
That was rough.
Village. All right, you ruled me in. Ooh, stink ending.
Yeah.
The Happening. People are just randomly getting run over by lawnmowers. I got to find out what's going on here.
It was the trees.
And then it just ended. There was no story
and then it
at
just
all.
Stops happening. The Happening just stopped happening.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
So I have bailed on M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Fair enough.
Ever since that.
Back to Sunny in Philadelphia. The reason they call it that, see, when Rob McElhenney was creating the series, he wanted to create it in California because that's where he lived. So the pilot was actually It's Always Sunny in California. However, cut to when they got a series cleared, they couldn't afford to film in California, and the tax incentives were better in Philadelphia. So It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
All right. Well, Rob McElhenney is a very happy man because of that decision move. So.
Can I offer you an egg in this trying time?
And of course, they've started a new season of Welcome to Wrexham on FX. If the season, I think it's the third season.
Yeah.
And of course, now they were promoted last season. So now they're in actual professional league, and so now it's kind of dealing with some of that, which is interesting.
They've definitely kind of propelled to a different level because I hear people unironically, like not with anything to do with the show, talking about how they support Wrexham.
Yeah. Wrexham's got an international following because of Rob and Ryan Reynolds. And by the way, they're the owners. Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds. I never get their two names right together.
Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney.
They bought a what at the time was like a lower tiered soccer team in Wales, in a town called Wrexham.
Yep.
And at one time it was a Premier League team, but it is. And for folks that don't know soccer, the way they've got it set up is like they've got tiers that are like basically your high school level teams that go all the way to your pro teams, which would be like your Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And in theory, your high school team gets good enough, it can advance and play the Cowboys. That's how soccer works, kind of thing. And so this team got relegated down to high school level, and now they're getting back up, and they're kind of now into like college, about college, the real try-hard stage. Yeah, and so that's kind of to put it into an American spin on that a little bit. That's kind of what's going on there.
It's always funny to me though, like real like soccer fans, football fans. You get these like big, burly, like half drunk, dudes that are just like ripped and like wearing these and then they'll walk up to you and go, "Oh, who do you support?" It's like if you were talking about a football team, hey, who do you support?
Yeah,
it's such a weird question, and it's such like the British vernacular to me is such a like unique kind of like dainty, silly thing.
Yeah,
like even when they're trying to be like stone cold serious, oi, who do you support?
Yeah, it does sound with a modicum of
what
sarcasm or
who are you a fan
of?
of? It's like it's something about it just doesn't. And some of the terminology they use, like I heard the other day, somebody was talking about something in reference to it being bad.
Yeah.
And they said it was pants.
Pants. Oh, I've heard that.
Pants.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
It's quite pants.
Yeah, I have heard that term before.
That's a very odd way to say something sucks.
Yeah, I've heard that term before too with the pants thing. And so, there was something else I was going to mention.
You snuck in like a thief in the night. You could have knifed me in my back like a sniper.
But so but anyway, the Wrexham's on there. It's pretty good. I watched I'm watching the third season now, and it's pretty good there. So, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few. Then we'll play a few more commercials because I have a lot of those. And then we're going to be joined by both of our representatives from both of our American Legion posts here. We're going to have Louis Mestis with Post 28, American Legion Post 28, and Stephen Lee, Commander for Post 61, join us. We'll talk about Memorial Day ceremonies this weekend. I know our Post 61 is also going to have a cleanup this Saturday out at Memory Lawn. I'd like to invite folks out to. So we'll get updates from our American Legion friends here in just a bit. And then, of course, we'll also do news of local variety and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, let's take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things stay sunny and hot for the next few days. We'll be hitting the mid-90s for the afternoon high today. It will be a little windy, especially around the Carlsbad area. Gusts around 25 to 30 miles an hour. Sunshine through the afternoon. Upper 50s and clear for the overnight hours. And then about 90 for the high on Wednesday and sunny. We'll stay sunny on Thursday and Friday, mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, I got to refresh this because it's been an hour since I've refreshed it. Currently 77 here in Roswell. Humidity's at 18% with winds out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Sunny and 94 today. Northwest winds 10 to 15. Tonight, clear. Overnight low of 59 degrees. Southwest winds 10 to 15, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight. Wednesday, sunny, 90 for a high, so a little cooler tomorrow. North winds 10 to 15. Sunny and 96 for you Thursday. Southwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Sunny and 95 for your Friday, and then for your Memorial Day weekend. Saturday, sunny and breezy with a high of 96. Sunny and 95 for Sunday, and for Memorial Day Monday, sunny skies, 95 for a high there. All right, it is 9:17. We're going to take a 5-minute break to pay for ads. Only 2 political ads in this break, so a little less on this one. So quick break, and then we'll talk American Legion on the other side. Don't go away.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Get our lowest prices of the year and exceptional trade-in values right now during the Memorial Day sales event at the all-new Roswell Ford. The all-new Roswell Ford has new management and a whole new attitude. And this week, Roswell Ford needs to sell 37 new and quality pre-owned vehicles to hit our sales goal. So we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Stuck in your loan or lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make or miles. Get huge savings on new Fords with rates as low as 0% for 66 months with no payments till July 4th. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Get huge savings and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand financed on select models with approved credit.
Have you been following the campaign for Senate District 32? I'm still undecided.
I voted for Candy Azell before, but after 20 years, she's been in office too long. She claims she's tough on the border, but voted to give free health care to illegals. And Azell even voted to raise her own taxpayer-funded pension 3 times.
Candy Azell?
That's right, Candy Azell. She also voted to implement critical race theory in New Mexico.
Critical race theory?
The bill forces school personnel to take annual anti-racism training and rips away local control of schools and hands it to bureaucrats in Santa Fe. Worse, Azell voted to raise taxes by millions on health care for seniors.
Ouch. Who's Candy's opponent?
Chad Hamill. He's a local business owner and former fire chief in Roswell who is running to secure our border, fix our schools, and keep taxes low.
Chad Hamill. He's got my vote.
Paid for by friends of Chad Hamill.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agger told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, here to announce that our geraniums are ready. So now the great debate begins. Are they pink or are they raspberry sorbet? Are they orange or are they Caribbean coral? Well, whatever you call them, they're the prettiest geraniums anywhere. We raise them in our own greenhouse, then send them home with you to brighten up the world. So come get yours now while the selection is best. Don't worry about the silly names.
I heard that.
Yes, dear. Coming, dear. Right away, dear. Of course, you're right.
You may be wondering why an eastern New Mexico rancher wants to be part of our state senate. The answer is simple. I want our conservative values heard in Santa Fe. My name is Pat Boone, and I'm running for New Mexico Senate District 27. This beautiful state is primarily rural land, and my family's been ranching here since 1884. I'll fight for your land rights, your parental rights, and your right to bear arms. I'd appreciate your Republican primary vote on June 4th.
Paid for by the committee to elect Pat Boone, Mark McKay, Treasurer.
Artesia General Hospital recently welcomed urogynecologist Scott Beard to the team. Dr. Beard is board certified in obstetrics and gynecology, as well as female pelvic medicine and reconstructive surgery. With nearly 25 years of experience in women's health, he treats conditions such as incontinence, chronic pelvic pain, prolapse, endometriosis, and others, offering surgical and non-surgical care options. Dr. Beard joins our women's services team currently working out of Memorial Family Practice in Artesia and is accepting new patients. Learn more and schedule your visit at artesiageneral.com/UROGYN or call 575-736-8394.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, we got the town's American Legion here with us this morning.
How white man?
That's right. Of course, Louis Mestis with American Legion Post 28 joining us this morning. Of course, we have Commander Stephen Lee and Auxiliary President Jen joining us as well from Post 61 family. So, good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing today?
Good morning.
Good deal. Well, we since we're all on one stage together, it must mean we got a big weekend ahead.
Well,
Memorial Day
it's
week.
Memorial Day.
So, yes, this weekend is, obviously, while most people are excited about the 3-day weekend of grilling, and of course kids are off school, graduations
and
this
barbecues.
weekend. It's a busy weekend with everything going on in people's lives, with high school graduations and
For sure.
and
Dads and
kids
grads.
getting out and yet Father's Day. But this weekend is also Memorial Day weekend, and while everyone's going to be hopefully spending time with family on Monday, grilling and doing that kind of stuff, we would like to invite folks to come be a part of American Legion's.
And please keep
Remembrance
your
and honor.
veterans in hearts and minds for this weekend, especially
Absolutely.
those who have given the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, and that's what Memorial Day is about. I always say this: it's never a bad time to honor veterans and everything. So when you thank Veterans Reserve, that's always a good thing. But please remember that Memorial Day, we honor those that paid the ultimate sacrifice. Those
Well,
that did
most
not
people
come
don't
home.
know the difference. Veterans Day for all veterans.
Yeah, Veterans Day,
living
and
or
November for
dead,
everybody.
and Memorial Day is only for the deceased.
Yeah. Now that being said, honor veterans. Thank
No,
you for
I
your
never
service.
discourage that.
Some veterans. Sometimes, we're veterans. Some of us get salty, and sometimes, that's not.
Well, especially Vietnam veterans, you
Yeah.
want to make sure to welcome them home because
Absolutely.
they were treated so badly when they got back.
Yeah.
So
So we love to use Memorial Day as also as a chance to thank those that fought for our nation. But the Memorial Day is to honor those that did not come home. Those the ones that paid the ultimate sacrifice. The ones that when we talk, when you see the Tomb of the Unknown and our POW and all the people that made ultimate sacrifice that didn't get to come home back to their families, this day's for them. That's what it's.
although I've been seeing a lot more advertisement about other veteran holidays, Military
Armed Forces
Day
Day
or
is getting a
Armed
little
Forces
bit more
Day.
shine now, I noticed, and things like that.
Vietnam Day, and there's lots of things that crop up, but the two biggies, of course, Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
But we will be having ceremonies at both cemeteries here on Memorial Day.
Yes.
I don't know which one starts first. I don't know.
Well, ours
61.
61
Yes.
at Memory Lawn.
Okay.
Saturday, we're going to be out there about 9 a.m. Cleaning up the cemetery and putting out flags.
And to be honest, we'd love to invite the public to that too.
Oh yes, we enjoy any help.
Yeah,
and
we're kind of crotchety.
Please
old.
bring a screwdriver. Because the ground is very hard.
It is
so
packed.
You gotta make a hole for the flag to go into, and it's a whole lot easier if you have something hard like even a drill. Some people will bring
Ice
drills,
pick or
ice
whatever,
picks, or
yeah.
something, but
You have
dynamite.
to get through nature's concrete.
Yeah. Something can penetrate New Mexico's hard sanded soil.
Well, Monday, 10 a.m. At Memory Lawn, we'll start. We'll have some sort of a ceremony. We weren't able to garner a highlining speaker this year, so Don Weld will say a few words. He's the first vice of Family 61.
And he's a Marine.
He is a
Marine, just like Louis here.
That's right.
Yes.
And he's got
And they're both
Marine-
Vietnam vets, so
Anyway,
there you go.
So
But, I've come to realize in the last couple of years, because of Post 61 and the hard work they've done out at that cemetery, that there's over 300 veterans buried there.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what's so important, that we all gather on Saturday around 9 o'clock and put flags out for them.
Sure.
Because our community has forgotten those deceased veterans there.
Yeah.
And so Post 61 has done a great job of bringing that back.
And to be honest, we could not do it without the public support, the donations, the labor. We've even have a few phantom volunteers that mow the grass from time to time that don't want recognition or don't seek it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we can't track them down.
And the problem with Memory Lawn is it had fallen into disrepair
Sure.
for so long, and
It changed ownerships, and it kind of got into a land of forgotten there. For
The
a little bit.
records aren't exactly the greatest, but we have recently unearthed a couple more headstones that were veterans.
Yeah.
And so
it's kind of an archaeological thing out
It
there a little
is.
bit.
It turns into an archaeological dig sometimes,
Yeah.
but every time we find one, of course, it's gotta increase the number there.
Absolutely. So
we're at about 302 now.
Good.
But
well, I don't know how good, bad, but I'm glad we're finding them. That's
Well, I
the
know
good
we're
thing,
finding
you know?
them.
Yeah.
And identifying them.
Absolutely.
And post 28, we'll have a ceremony at 11:30.
Yes.
At South Memory Lawn.
Yeah, South Park Cemetery.
South Park.
Yeah.
South Park.
So they'll be on the south end down at the the
Yes.
Veterans and South
We'll be
Park
there by the
Cemetery there.
administrative building.
Yeah.
There's a large flag, and we'll have a ceremony there.
Excellent. And what time was that again, Louis?
That's at 11:30.
At 11:30 a.m.
And,
on Monday. Yes.
Our ladies auxiliary will provide refreshments and drinks, and we ask the public to come out and.
It's gonna be like 99 that day, so you probably want a few refreshments.
Just to warn everybody, I won't be able to attend because it's out of my rolling range.
Yes, you are. Yeah, you can't. Or I guess you could, but you have to start probably on Sunday. But
right, something like that.
Yeah, and that's why we moved it from 1 to 11:30 because of the heat.
Yeah, it's probably a little more. People appreciate that a little bit more out there. But come out and help honor. Please, and I always want to remind people: bring your families, bring your kids.
Yes, I want the kids
bring
there.
the young folks,
students.
there.
This is an educational opportunity.
Absolutely, you need to have your kids understand the importance of what these folks have done for this nation, and we want you to have an amazing, fun weekend with your family. We're just asking you to spend a half hour at one of these or both of these, either whatever works in your schedule. If you can go to both, we'd love to see that, but pick one that works best in your schedule and take a moment to honor those that have fallen, because every one of us that are enjoying a brat or a burger or a burrito on Monday get to do it because somebody paid the ultimate price in some place you probably never heard of, doing things that go above and beyond the call of humanity sometimes for America.
Freezing off body parts and the chosen frozen.
Yep. And this is why we
sweating in the jungles of Vietnam, or
sitting in the deserts, sitting in
Getting
the
sand and
desert,
scorpions in places you don't want.
sitting in rice paddies, doing they were all over the place defending and supporting America.
or even minding their own business in a tower, and somebody walked in and decided to blow it up.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. This is what Memorial Day is about. So please make it a priority to come out to one or both of these ceremonies on Monday with your family. Bring the kids. Come Saturday, we'd love to have you come out starting at about 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Come, we're going to be doing some cleanup out there. So if you got some work gloves and things, that would be great.
Yeah.
And like you said, we'll be placing our flags on the various graves throughout the cemetery there. So if you bring a screwdriver or ice pick or something.
Whisk broom is nice.
Something like that.
Something to just get the dirt off of headstones.
Yeah, maybe some of the headstones, because guess what? Wind blows here, and we get dust. And
it sure does.
And we are, our goal, someday it'll be grass out there, all grass everywhere. That's our goal, is to
we have a new POWMIA flag that's going to go up on Saturday out there. We've ordered a new American flag, but that won't be here until probably around Flag Day.
Okay.
But we finally got at least 2 of the big flags with warranties on them, so
excellent.
We can put one up and take the other one down, get it fixed, and rotate them out now.
Okay. Well, that's good. That might actually last a little bit longer.
Those are not cheap flags, let me tell you.
New Mexico is not.
They have
not
comma
the easiest
on
flags. They're tough on flags.
Yeah,
they are.
Mexico weather is tough on flags. But
so if anybody would like to donate to the cause,
absolutely.
Memory Lawn is always taking donations.
Yeah, and you can earmark it specifically for that. So,
yes, we can.
If you don't tell us, we'll use it in general fund, and it'll go to anything American Legion
does.
Absolutely.
Any other program.
It's all good. We do good things with it. But if you specifically want it for Memory Lawn, you just earmark that in the donation.
Well, in the short term, we got oratorical coming up, Boys State, of course, all that stuff. So,
and then another thing, which I think we'll put on the radar, maybe transition to this right now, is this summer, American Legion will be hosting the state convention here. All of the Legionnaires from all over the state of New Mexico will be coming to Roswell, New Mexico for a weekend here in June. And they're going to be, you're going to see guys in pointy hats, all guys and gals in pointy hats all over town. That weekend in June here. And but we've got some great supporters that are going to be a part of it. We're going to be at the Liberty. We're going to be at the Bowling. We're going to be all over town. But if you'd like to support American Legion, we are looking for donations. We're looking for door prizes or gift basket type things. If you'd like to donate things for swag bags or monetarily, we could use a bunch of money right now.
Please contact
big sack of cash
us
would
at
be awesome.
RoswellLegion.org.
Yeah.
Any donations come in there. You can earmark them if you want for any of our programs, but if you don't, it'll help support us for convention, which is a very expensive ordeal.
Yeah.
But anyway, it brings a lot of veterans to your businesses.
Sure. And Louis, I mean, this is kind of, for state convention, this is where, the big thing is that the new officers for the state will get elected at the end of the day, but it's a big powwow. It's a chance for all the Legionnaires to kind of touch base, talk. If there's national issues and things that need to be addressed, this is where they kind of all meet and gather
the VA
and talk
is
about
going to be down here giving reports and taking intake and all kinds of stuff.
So it's veterans coming in, taking advantage of services, the camaraderie, but at the same time conducting the business of the American Legion.
Yeah.
But it's not all work. This is a social club at the end of the day. It's also, camaraderie is just as important to us as servicing our veterans. So, we're going to be at the bowling alley. We're going to be having barbecue. We're going to be at various places around town having fun and doing that. So, please, if you see Legionnaires, come talk to them. Come welcome. If you see a bunch of out-of-towners, come do Roswell what Roswell does. Be nice. If someone says, hey, you recommend a place to eat, tell them your favorite place to eat. Do all that stuff. Favorite place to shop. They're going to be coming and spending money in our stores and businesses while they're here. And so, there'll be a few hundred of them coming through town here that weekend with auxiliary and Legionnaire and everything else. So, welcome to town.
And some of them have never either been to Roswell or really experienced the whole alien thing. It's still new to them.
Sure.
Even if they are from New Mexico.
Sure.
So I expect some of them to have.
Some people don't go south of I-40 sometimes.
Yeah.
We have to invite them down.
And attention all veterans, if you want to come to convention, you do not have to be a member of one of the two posts in town if you wish to attend.
If you want to learn more about what we do, there's going to be a lot of people who can learn you on it. So
sure.
Yeah, anybody can come and register.
Absolutely. So. But come and come celebrate, be a part of it if but if you really want to find a way to thank veterans and things, this is a good way to do it. Yes, helping us financially here, but even if you're like, I'm a business and hey, I want to donate things to put in a swag bag, or here's stuff for a gift basket. Or something like that.
Anything. You got some wine in the local area you want to feature. You got some, booze of some sort. I know they got some whiskey and stuff in the local area. But food or gift certificates or anything like that, all welcome.
Yeah, especially, or if you're a business or something that kind of is uniquely Roswell, caters to Roswell things and wants to, put a little Roswell in there for your business, please reach out to us. We'd love to do all this to welcome our Legionnaires and auxiliary and all of our folks from all over the state. But at the same time, this is supporting veterans in our state. This is, this is Roswell centric, but this is really supporting all veterans throughout the state, where through the information and everything else. And this is the family fun side of Legion. So if you want to learn about all kinds of Legion, like I said, we'll be all over town during that weekend in June here, from the Liberty to various other places around town. You can't miss this. We'll be all over.
Yep, for sure.
Louis, is there anything on Post 28 side we want to let folks know about?
Just want to remind the public again that our ceremony will be on Memorial Day at 11:30, and our guest speaker will be Michael Trujillo, owner of El Charro. Mm-hmm. He is a combat veteran.
Yeah.
And
28 member.
So he's 28 member.
He's not commander anymore, but he has been in the past.
Yeah, he has been.
I'm sure
commander
he's still
in the
involved
past.
in leadership somewhere there.
But,
Louis is a former commander.
That's right. Louis was too. We got a lot of commanders in the room. Commander.
Well, that's the danger when you go to these events, is to say the word commander, because everybody looks at you.
I'm a Commanders fan, by the way. So
there you go. Well, I thought they were called Redskins.
Well, they used to be. They got a name change.
Oh, that's true.
So one big announcement we're prepared to make at this time is Family 61 acquired a building.
We are officially not homeless anymore.
It is going to take a year before we're going to be able to open the doors.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not quite.
To do.
Yeah, it's not quite.
We got
presentable yet.
over $100,000 worth of renovation we got to do before we can open the doors.
We got to do it quick before it gets to 200,000 because that's
yeah,
the world we live in now.
Isn't that the truth?
But the new post is going to be at 605 East 2nd Street. So
it's blocks over from where we are now. Here.
It's across the street from Farmers Market,
Yes.
2nd and Garden. It used to be the old Toyo Tires.
Mhm.
We bought those two buildings there, 603 and 605 East 2nd. So 603 is going to be the office, and 605 eventually will be the post. The building at 603, we're hoping to get renovated by August, September time frame, so we can move the memory lawn offices there and stuff like that.
Because right now they're in someone's garage.
Yeah. Well,
Yes, they are.
that's true. They're in Don's garage, and but the post itself won't be open probably until next June.
I would say we'll probably have a grand opening shindig.
June day, yeah.
Invite everybody out.
D-Day or something
Yeah,
like
have a little
that.
party, and yeah, we'll do all that.
But it's gonna take a long time.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of sweat equity in there that still has to be done.
Absolutely.
And by the way, our hands are always out. If you want to help contribute, we will definitely.
RoswellLegion.org.
We will not take you away, turn you away from that. So,
Right.
And by the way, speaking of money, I know our Post 61. We have got our scholarships on our website there. Fill out the applications for folks if you're a veteran or a family member of a veteran. And
I realize the paperwork says 2022 on it, but it doesn't make any difference. Those papers are they work anytime.
We've got cash set aside that's specifically earmarked for scholarships.
Yeah.
We can't do anything else with it. That's what it's for.
I'm supposed to
All
give
we need
away
is-
4. I could give away as many as 6 at this point. So
So
hey,
go to-
you're leaving money on a table.
Yeah, go to RoswellLegion.org and you'll see the application and the requirements and everything there and get them filled out. Basically, if you're pursuing a STEM-related career field.
Or first responder.
Or which kind of, it's all first, which is pretty much everything. Because electricians, guess what? STEM. Any trade school, STEM.
Pretty much.
It's a pretty broad category. And like you said, you yourself or direct family member.
You got to write a 500-word essay. I could do that in about 15 minutes.
Well, if you're going to college, you might need to if you don't have the essay writing skills, you use this as a project.
Well, you got to write on some aspect of the Constitution.
Oh yeah.
You have to have some military in your family's past. And that's it.
Yeah.
And you're leaving $2,500 out there. I realize that there's a lot of tuition assistance these days, but this goes towards books, fees, the equipment, materials.
I've never heard a college student say, "No, I got enough money. I'm good."
The only thing we don't pay for, of course, is your partying and your.
That's on your own time.
We don't pay for food or housing, but the rest of it. Fair game.
You need laptops. You need books.
Yeah,
you need to pay for class. You need to pay for.
Laptops cost about $1,000, so that's
easy.
That's about half of that $2,500 right there.
And usually the super El Cheapo ones for $200 or something are going to get
you don't want
cut the
that.
mustard for what you need.
You drop it one time and you're out for 6 months.
Look at it funny. It got a virus.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But absolutely, please, RoswellLegion.org is that website. And then, of course, if you want to learn anything about any aspect of our post or what we support or Wreath Across America, if you want to start pitching it now for Wreath Across America, there's a link there to buy wreaths there if you want to. Like you said, we're putting flags out this weekend. Well, in December, we want to put wreaths out. And here's the thing. We keep finding more veterans' graves. And like you said, we got about 300 there down at South Park. I don't know. There's 3,000 veteran graves there.
Oh yeah,
right.
We would love to at every cemetery in town every single veteran's grave have a wreath on it during the holidays.
That
We're
would
not
be the
close
goal.
to that goal yet.
No.
But we'd love, so if you go to our thing, you can start buying wreaths. You can buy, I think
RoswellLegion.org.
I think they're up to 17
bucks or
now.
something.
Yeah.
It's really not that much money.
Well, and you can buy like 5-pack or you can even dedicate to a loved one or something. There's all of that information's on the Wreaths Across America page there. But please check it out when you get a chance. And come out this Saturday. Come out to meet us starting at 9 a.m. out at Memory Lawn for the cleanup. And like I said, we'll start placing flags here. And then don't forget Monday. Like you said, if the early birds will come on out to Post 61's to Memory Lawn. That's at 9 a.m. And then at 11:30, come on out to South Park for Post 28's Memorial Day celebration or remembrance.
The ceremony on Monday for 61's at 10.
10 o'clock. I'm sorry. Did I say 9 o'clock? I meant 10. 9 o'clock this Saturday.
9 o'clock to put out
Monday.
the flags. 10 o'clock for the ceremony, and then
And
of course we need to pick up the flags again Tuesday night or Monday night at 6.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the wind will take them. We'll lose.
And we
in the farmer's yard.
Yeah, and bring out the kids because, like Louis was saying, bring out the students because you can take a name off of one of the headstones and do a little bit of research and make it a story because each veteran has their own story.
Absolutely.
They each live their own lives.
Every grave has it out there at the story,
Exactly.
but every veteran, you're absolutely right.
And these are
life.
local, so learn something about them.
Yeah.
And it's a bit in the future, but Veterans Day is going to be on November 9th this year.
Okay.
So we've already started the ball rolling on that. So obviously we're going to need fundage. So RoswellLegion.org, help us out.
Please, please. And by the way, too, like you were talking about, the history and stuff. When you get over to South Park Cemetery there, too, you can, you see the veterans and all that. But, our local founding fathers and things, they're all buried out there, too. When you see,
it's a fascinating
when you
place.
see names of streets around town, and you
They're
see,
in the cemetery, too.
these certain names, and then you're like, oh, this guy in the cemetery's got the same name as that street. Wonder how that happened.
Right.
That's part of that history.
And some of those headstones go back into the 1800s. I was looking at it, I was like, wow.
You want to see Roswell history, believe it or not, you learn a lot at a cemetery.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's
a nice shady place, so
So please, come out, honor our veterans, honor those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice, but maybe spend a few minutes just seeing the history of this town and see.
My wife wants to remind everybody that us older folks can't bend over very well. So
this is
bring
true.
the kids.
We need
younger backs to put the flags out.
Or long screwdrivers with a grab 'em thingy.
I just bring my drill.
There you go.
It's a lot easier.
Is it power drill?
Yeah, power drill with the extended drill.
Please tell me you double fist it. Like you're like. Please tell me that's what's going on.
It's a lot easier than a screwdriver for me.
Smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
I was an Air Force guy, so I worked smarter, not harder.
There you go.
Yeah, but you just bring some ordnance.
That's true. That's true. We
break through that caliche.
Yeah, for sure.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I was back in the day. You saw me running. You better be running right with me. Things are about to
You
get
dealt
bad.
with ordnance, so yeah.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
This is one of those things that it's my only military story. But when I was in Italy, when we were bombing Kosovo and all that, and so we're there on the Aviano Air Base on their hardened shelters and all that stuff. And so as a bomb loader, I'm a 3-person. I drove what's called the bomb lift truck, which is a green, it's called a jammer. But anyway, it moves the bomb to wherever we need to move it to. And so as a 3-person in our crew of 3, my job was to drive that. In charge of me.
Well, that sounds like fun.
So, when we're loading bombs and everything, my bombs are sitting over on the trailer over here. I've got to put them on a jet that's over at this end of the flight line. So I go and pick it up. And once it's secured, I can travel without someone holding on to it and everything once we strap it down and everything. So my 2-man straps it down, and then I just hoof it up the tarmac over to where our jet is.
Right.
When you're sitting on a little jammer with a 2,000-pound live bomb sitting on the end of it, people tend to get out of your way. And I noticed that.
I don't know why.
It was funny. I'd see expediters who would get out of the way of nobody. Like they're just, being harump. I'm sitting there with that. All of a sudden, even cars with stars on it, staff cars, we're like, get out of that guy's way. He's sitting there. So, you know
I
what?
wonder why.
You drive around with a 2,000-pound laser guided bomb, people tend to get out of your way.
I bet they do.
A lesson I learned in the United States Air Force.
Yes.
But anyway, please come and come celebrate our elite. We have a great in the last 10, 15 years, our veteran organizations really took a hit. Our VFWs, our American Legion, certainly, but right now it's revitalized. Our VFWs going strong now, and they're doing well. They just had an amazing golf tournament over the weekend. They're doing great. They're looking for a new home as well, and they're about to separate from the church to
and
go find their own home.
Post 61 is very excited about
Post
ours.
28, of course, you guys have been going and doing your thing for years now, and going strong over at your facility there. And now we got Post 61 here too. So veteran organizations and veteran representations going pretty good here in Roswell right now. If you're a veteran, there's lots of different places for you to get involved here. Both of our Legionnaire posts would love to have you. Obviously, your VFW, if you qualify, they're all looking for new members. And to be honest, join them. Because even if you can't come to the meetings, and we were talking about this with the VFW last week, or yesterday, by you joining these organizations, there's strength in numbers. So when the American Legion goes to Congress to talk about veteran issues, when the VFW goes to Congress to talk about veterans issues, they come to these people saying we're 1 million strong. And so by you signing up for that, or 2 million
close
strong,
to 2 now.
I think VFW is about 1 million or something around, but they that carries weight. So even if you're like, well, I don't necessarily want to go to the meetings every week and get involved, by supporting and being a member of a Legionnaire post or a VFW post or both, does help veterans across the world. Even if you can't necessarily be a part of all the meetings and all the, we'd love to have you do that too. But if you're
these organizations are so much more than old guys on bar stools.
Yeah,
and 61's not even going to have a bar.
Yeah,
so that doesn't apply to us.
And so, but by you signing up and being a member of these organizations, you're giving them ammo to fight for you in Congress. That's what you're doing. And so, please, all you veterans out there, even if you're, I don't want to necessarily come and hang out and be a part of the meetings, come to one meeting, and at least talk to our veterans, come and see if because yes, your membership would be very beneficial to not only the local posts here, but to veterans in general.
And some of your dues stay here in Roswell to help veterans.
Absolutely,
so
I know. Post 28, Post 61. Yeah, this stuff. The dues and things that goes to local veterans things here.
Right.
If when a veteran comes into town that their car broke down or something, usually between our veterans organizations, someone rallies together to help them out and do that kind of stuff. So when you contribute and donate and be a member, you're contributing to that.
And I'm going to be spending Friday morning over at the Roswell Livestock, and I'm going to be putting on a table. It's a poppy table. It's to remember our veterans.
Memorial Day weekend.
And all of the funds that go into the Poppy Fund go to help veterans and their families with welfare issues. Like this last disbursement, we helped a veteran who needed a little help remodeling his bathroom so it could be handicap accessible for him.
Awesome.
So all of that stays here when you donate.
Yep. So that's why you get involved. We ask for your membership.
Right.
Even if you can't commit the time per se, your membership does help. And it does help make a difference for
and we've built ramps for people. We've fixed their carports.
We get unique requests from time to time. I'm sure, Louis, you've seen quite a few crazy ones over the years there too. But that's what the veterans do. And so I'm so glad that we have not one but 2 Legion posts and a VFW post, and of course our Chaves County Veteran and other groups that are all doing well and are they can do better. Obviously, we're all looking to do better, but it's great to see that they're growing again. They're starting. There's people meeting. There's people there's people
and we're
involved.
excited to help. So give us a chance to help.
Yeah, absolutely. So come out this Saturday. I know we threw a lot of information at you, but if you're confused, we'll come out 9 a.m. Saturday, and we'll learn you the rest.
Yep. Come help put out flags and pick up trash.
Absolutely. And, of course, you can check out RoswellLegion.org. I know Post 28 has a Facebook page Do they have any other website or anything?
No, not at this time.
Okay, so you go.
But they do have a Facebook
So
page.
go to just type in American Legion Post 28 Roswell.
Right.
It should pop right up, and you can like and follow or shoot your questions and everything there. Because I know if you need a meeting space, things like that, Post 28 does offer their facility for that for a civic organization or group that needs a meeting space. You can come and support our veterans by renting out their hall, and that's how they make some money to help our veterans here through Post 28. So,
and we do provide our hall for veterans for funerals.
Okay.
And so
some veterans that need a place to
do reception or something.
28 will welcome you with open arms to help you get that.
They're a veteran. We open our doors.
Absolutely. Maybe do the 21 gun salute outside, not in the hall.
Yeah.
That might.
That poor roof.
Raise a few alarms. Good deal. Is there anything we missed? Anything we guys wanted to share that for whatever reason we spaced out?
I don't want to overwhelm them.
Well,
we hit them a lot. We did.
I do want to recognize the Roswell Honor Guard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
And they do so much for our community. They do so much for different organizations. And they will be at our activity again.
Okay.
On Memorial Day at 11:30.
So they'll be out of
the
South Park.
Roswell National Honor Guard will be there. And I also want to recognize two gentlemen that always play taps at all of these organizations.
And they play on a bugle.
They do.
Oh, they're just
and they do
wonderful.
it well.
Like an actual bugle. That's hard.
Yeah,
you know?
Mr. Trujillo
Yeah.
and Mr. Brady.
Yeah.
I know Louis Brady was an instructor at Eastern, and many of the community members know him. He was a school board member, and Louis Brady has a great talent.
Awesome.
He and Jake Trujillo, they're Vietnam, and they do a great job.
They're the reason many of our ceremonies are a lot classier. Between them and the Honor Guard, they're the reason these are classy, very well done ceremonies.
Yes.
Because of them.
For sure.
You know, especially in a world where to get something from a United States service organization, like military branch, they'd have to come a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we don't have a military base right in our backyard not anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, it's so
Cannon's the closest.
Yeah, Cannon or Holloman, I guess, depending on which way you're going. But either way, it's not easy for them to do that. So our honor guard and stuff really have a bigger role out in the rural parts out here where there not necessarily is a military unit from a assigned base that can come and take care of that. The head fell off anyway. You didn't do that. It was.
I was wondering, Louis, about your past.
Don't do
suddenly,
that one.
Yeah.
He still got his head, but that one's good. So, but please come
you
out.
have
Please
a problem
don't.
with your mother or something? Just curious.
Oh man. Well,
going headless here.
That's right. But thank you guys. Appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Actually, I think we'll be on next week for our normal vision here.
Our
And
regularly scheduled
let me know
programming.
when if Commander or anybody's got some stuff for to come on the radio anytime. They're more than welcome to come on and let the world know about it. So.
Well, we appreciate all you do for us. Thank you very much.
I'll keep doing it because I am you. I'm a veteran, so I know what makes you guys mad and what makes you happy, because it's the same thing here.
Yes.
Just got to get through election season here.
Oh, yeah. June 5th is going to be my Shangri-La. I might go outside and sing in the rain naked if it rains.
June 6th, D-Day.
I lost weight, so I look better naked.
Wow.
Not that good, but better.
I have to check with Kim on that.
All right, it is 9:56. Couple political ads before we get kicked off the radio. Don't go away.
Have you been following the campaign for Senate District 32? I'm still undecided.
I voted for Candy Azell before, but after 20 years, she's been in office too long. She claims she's tough on the border, but voted to give free health care to illegals. And Azell even voted to raise her own taxpayer-funded pension 3 times.
Candy Azell?
That's right, Candy Azell. She also voted to implement critical race theory in New Mexico.
Critical race theory?
The bill forces school personnel to take annual anti-racism training and rips away local control of schools and hands it to bureaucrats in Santa Fe. Worse, Azell voted to raise taxes by millions on health care for seniors.
Ouch. Who's Candy's opponent?
Chad Hamill. He's a local business owner and former fire chief in Roswell who is running to secure our border, fix our schools, and keep taxes low.
Chad Hamill. He's got my vote.
Paid for by friends of Chad Hamill.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Ed Safety and Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for roustabout crew and a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screening. Ed Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 2801 North Freeman in Artesia. Ed Safety and Services is an equal opportunity employer. New Mexico Governor Lujan Grisham has pursued an agenda to seriously impair and remove your Second Amendment rights to use, own, or purchase firearms and firearm-related items in our state. Last legislative session, District 27 Republican Senator Greg Nybert worked effectively and successfully with the NRA and other pro-Second Amendment groups to defeat the governor's attempt to ban or register firearms and accessories. We must retain legislators like Senator Nybert, who has the proven knowledge, skills, and experience to stop the liberal progressives from imposing upon our constitutional rights. Senator Nybert is the only candidate running for Senate District 27 to be rated A and endorsed by the NRA. Please vote to retain Senator Greg Nybert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things stay sunny and hot for the next few days. We'll be hitting the mid-90s for the afternoon high today. It will be a little windy, especially around the Carlsbad area. Gusts around 25 to 30 miles an hour. Sunshine through the afternoon. Upper 50s and clear for the overnight hours. And then about 90 for the high on Wednesday and sunny. We'll stay sunny on Thursday and Friday, mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio, KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. Have an amazing day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Take care.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Donald Trump's defense team rests their case with the former president, calling it a kangaroo court.
Donald Trump criticizing the case.
There's no crime. It's a kangaroo court. There's never been anything like this that I've ever seen. Now I have 2 other trials that were kangaroo courts also.
His team had asked for a dismissal yesterday. The judge said he'd rule later. Meanwhile, a witness who angered the judge was back on the stand for the defense. Lawyer Robert Costello testifying about his interactions with Michael Cohen. Then Trump's attorneys resting their case without the former